That's bro, turn that shit up, man.
Projected to be at 20 for the Bears.
Exactly, Greg.
Oh my God!
This is great.
I am in heaven!
What world?
Purchase all tracks today.
I'd trade my kid for a quarterback right now.
Oh, this is Claudia the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports. Keepin It 100.
Chicago's trading up. Yes!
What?
Here it is!
There was something else going on with this team because I love football. I play football. I'm a lineman, so I have a different perspective of the game.
Yes.
Let's go, Jenkins!
That's confirmed from Adam Schefter also.
Give me a tackle or give me death!
It's got to be. This.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up.
100.
Yes!
What?
Here it is!
It's an open competition.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100. The smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. The dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man, and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now them out stuff like the true and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the armchair. The tape never lies, the truth, you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun debt. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Draft Dr. Phil. Keeping it 100.
Shayne, Money Man Marsaw, and the guard.
The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
Watch the tape, and when you see the tape, you know the tape doesn't lie, and there's just the tape doesn't lie.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, It's that time again. Here we are, Wednesday night, 8:30. We got the two guys from TTNL Network, Mr. Shayne Marsaw and Dr. Phil Toshin, coming to give us a great show. We got Mr. Greg Braggs, who's lovable and likable. Sometimes you just want to give him a hug. But then we have the CEO, Mr. Zach Pearson himself, joining us this evening to talk everything Chicago Bears. So I think nothing else is more important than bringing on the two stars of the show. One guy returning from the lovable, I think he went to Hedonism or someplace like that. But
yo, this is your boy, Draft Dr. Phil, live here in Takana.
Who knows? But he's back with a smile on his face, tan, and a pep in his step. So let's go. Shayne, Phil, how we doing, boys?
What's up, Jack? I was just on, you caught me off guard. I was on Amazon buying you fucking 3 cases of 5-hour energy.
Exactly.
Bring that.
Oh, boy.
Never lies.
Never take cough syrup and mix it up with iodine and lye.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. Yo, this is Dante Jones.
This is Kenneth Davis. This is your boy, Lemmy Stenson.
This is Matt Waldman.
This is Paige DeMarcos.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Nall here with the Chicago Bears.
This is Olin Kroots with my boys.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Former Bears tight end Zach Miller here.
Well, listen to my guys, Phil and Shayne.
And I'm showing my boys, Shayne and Phil.
Yeah, you're listening to my guys, Shayne and Phil, on the Tape Never
Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
So they cut the Nick Foles presser pretty quick too.
Yeah.
Oh, they were getting nervous when Nick was talking.
I've never seen anything like that. People
about that.
You know, people are asking why was he even talking. Well, he hasn't talked all offseason. This was the first time we got to hear from him. He was not with the team early in the offseason, and it was nice to talk to him. But man, he did not hold back.
Quarterback, you gotta go through a lot of the baloney. But that's part of it. That's why we play this position. That's why we grow. Because at the end of the day, there might be some kid that's watching this press conference that say Nick Foles is a 3 quarterback and he's going out there and his mentality is to dice up that defense and help his teammates. And that's what I will continue to do till I lace up the cleats for the last time.
In a normal training camp,
it was perfect timing with the Colts stuff, though.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Feels like, why is this motherfucker talking?
No,
and I'm like,
Shayne.
I think it's good business. Put him out there and let him rip. And hey,
this is the truth. Behind the scenes, Zach. I text Shayne. I see Nick Foles. I'm like, what the fuck is a third string quarterback talking for? Shayne texts back, Phil, this is good business. You got fucking Wentz is hurt. Now the Bears are selling this motherfucker, and he's going out there petitioning for the Colts job. I mean, throwing Matt Nagy on the bus, under the bus.
Well, I thought if, Roquan and Danny Trevathan haven't played a full 16-game season together in 2 to 3 years, I believe, since 2018. So that depth's going to be tested. I think Christian Jones having a good camp. I think not only,
the COVID thing. But
yeah,
I guess there's a negative.
Yeah, Biggs said was a false positive.
False positive could have taken them out.
Exactly. I mean, he's not putting that out there unless he's got great fucking info.
He's rarely wrong on that stuff. But the knock on him, on Christian Jones, has always been pass coverage. He's got guys kind of struggle to turn around and get his head back to the football look. He's done pretty damn well in the drills he's been in, and I think him back there with the depth. He's pretty much got inside linebacker 3 locked up. I do I thought outside Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack, I thought both are having good camps, but they're going up against backup tackles.
Right.
I like Travis Gibson. I really like what I see from him.
He was Shayne's guy.
That dude is. Yeah, like you said, man, that dude is big.
He worked on his body. You talk about going back and investing in yourself. We talked about James Daniels doing that from year 1 to year 2. Tevis Gibson, we saw on the Fan Fest, he's dropping into coverage, and he looks like a different football player.
Dude, yeah. Tie his shoes without bending over. Those fucking arms are
so
man. Long.
He's a lanky guy.
He's going to be interesting.
Well, and also with the pick that you're referencing, sorry, Phil, to cut you off, but he was, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but the pick by Jalen Johnson, he was late getting it over to him. Yep. The break had already happened, and that's why Jalen was able to jump it. And whereas Justin, while his windup might be longer, he's trusting the break and getting it out of his hands when he's supposed to before the break actually occurs, and then the receiver's able to get it on time. Rogers, why don't you read us all a book?
I could read you a few. I don't know if you'd understand them with your comprehension.
Actually, I very well could. Now, is there any books about Oklahoma quarterbacks back there? I want to dive into that.
Very well said.
Hey, let me ask you something, Jack. You always give me shit about my shirts, but I'm wondering, did you used to be like a 400-pound man because every shirt you wear is stretched out? Like,
it's just a V-neck, Greg.
Well, I know it's a V-neck, but it's still very loose on.
This is actually a brand new shirt.
Do you not want? Well, maybe get it one size smaller, or do they not? Do they not sell men's shirts in the size that you need? Maybe.
No. That was well said, though. You're so articulate. I'm glad that we're able to put this out. Articulate. You're better just using your thumbs. That's what I'll say right now.
I'm just saying.
You put out a quality product.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. And I was going to wear the blue shirt, but I figured I'd switch it up for you today.
If you heard what I said, I was like, this asshole didn't wear the blue shirt tonight. Like, that's what I actually said. So
I had to change it up just for you, Jack.
I appreciate you standing up for something. I like it. It's a good thing.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to stand up for what's right, and that is wearing a gray shirt.
I guess so, But hey, kudos to you. You guys had a great show yesterday, and your content at the at training camp has been top notch, man. I'm telling you, man. You earned all your followers.
The show short so we could make sure you guys got your fantasy football, circle jerk in.
You're such a nice guy, Greg. I know. I'm sure you were.
I'm quality. I'm a quality guy. This is the Tape Never Lies Network, and now I am under the controls. Jackal is no longer here to bore you. Him and Cars can go off onto their boring train and bore each other to sleep.
I could tell this fucking degenerate in the background, but
what are you talking about? I was just reading some fucking books. What is up, TTNL fucking family? Don't know what happened last week. I got to see what I looked like, apparently, and a little too much edibles. With that being said, we're a week into fucking training camp. There is a lot to talk about. We have a very unique show this evening. Can't wait to talk about some Chicago Bears football with fucking Phil, whoever else joins us this evening. But I think we should get started. I might have used a little Peruvian marching powder before I hopped on the air, but hey, it's better than meth. Hey, Larenson, go fuck yourself. Let's go, Phil.
What's up,
brother?
What is up, Christopher.
That'd be I.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh,
hey,
man.
I actually have a Mr. Rogers sweater, which I know I actually wear it to work. And but with that being said, I couldn't run upstairs and grab it when I saw that in the comments. It would have made for at least a good pop, maybe, possibly. I'm no comedian, though, as you can tell.
Nobody is safe on this show when it comes to keeping it 100. It's the impetus. It's the sauce, as I say, of this network. We always keep it 100. Tonight, though, some breaking news. Do we have the breaking news drop? Where is that thing?
Breaking news.
There it is.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Yes, this is your boy Draft Dr. Phil from the Tape Never Lies Network. Tonight, our guy, the smartest man, is not going to be on the show tonight. So you're going to get all of me. He's got something work-related came up. I'll be back next week. So all of me needs all of you. Sounds like a parody song coming out of here. I'm so behind on parody songs on this network. I got to get Nightmares of Matt Nagy, Cool Kennedy. We got to do the remix of that because that is my biggest nightmare. Coach Matt Nagy and what he's going on. A lot of stuff is going on, obviously, with the Chicago Bears. So much football talk to get into tonight, but I had to, get the business side out of the way. So more Phil, I love me some me, like Terrell Owens.
There we go.
Listen.
All is right in the world.
Listen, I got to keep it 100. All is right in the world. There's no draft mob. Draft mob is over. BHL will be appearing. Should I drop the BHL promo now since we're asking about this?
I can't believe it's that time.
Let's do it. BHL this Saturday. Bears, Dolphins. They are going to be playing. We're going to go live. If you're a patron at halftime, me, Berlissimo, my dad, and Shayne will be there breaking down some plays that have happened with the telestrator and the whole nine in the first half, looking at Justin Fields' very first snap. I want to break that play down. I want to see how he took the snap, what he did. Hopefully what's the odds, pass or run with Justin Fields' first snap, Chris?
We have to look it up. I'm not
you got to give me.
There's an odds there, but it's 50-50, right?
50. Yeah, it's only 50. Where's Tooch gambling?
That's my point. Shit. Where is that gentleman?
What are you saying? Is it run or pass? What's the chat?
I think he's just going to drop it down and take off for like a quick 40 and demonstrate that foot speed.
Tight end reverse. Yeah, Justin gets under center. First play, Matt Nagy calls Cole Kmet's number on a reverse. I see it. I would be ready to rant. But yes, Bears Hour live. I'll save the promo for later.
All right,
that'll be
roll,
we'll promo that, but that'll be this, not draft mob, Bears Hour live, and then halftime if you're a patron, obviously. So we're gonna do a little pregame get together before the kickoff, and we have TTNL people live at the game this Saturday. I want to shout out my guy Tom Boson, who has donated 6 tickets. We're going to get our TTNL people, our producers. Cool Kennedy will be in the building. Alex Acevedo will be in the building. Caden Whitlow, who's behind the scenes, will be in the building. Ron G will be in the building. So if you are TTNL head, 100 crew, let us know. Comment in the chat. We'll make sure.
Speaking of the chat, Phil, aren't we looking for somebody from the Chi-Town area that we're just possibly in the chat if they just let us know they're out there?
Yeah, we're looking for somebody in the chat. If you live in the Chicago area,
let us know.
Let us know. At the end of the show, we'll get to a little gift for you. So if you're going to the game, though, make sure Cool Kennedy, Rashad, there he is. Right there. He'll be at the game with his beautiful wife.
The man.
With his wife on her birthday. I want to give her a birthday shout out. Cool Kennedy.
The smartest man's not here. Let's not start, talking about significant, he had a thing with Cherise. Let's, come on.
We still haven't done Cherie's dating stuff.
Oh, you didn't hear? You didn't? Oh, okay. There's news on that front.
Seriously, if you're going to be at the game, let us know. I want to make sure we get you over there. The game is 1:00 p.m. East.
Yes, sir.
12 p.m. Central. If you're in the region, that would be 12 p.m. You will be at the game. Bears versus Dolphins. A historic moment. I don't give a shit what anybody tries to tell
100%, Phil.
Justin Fields' first snap under center. Everybody had mixed emotions no matter where you stood on the Mitch Trubisky train or where you stand now with Mitch Trubisky. You know, I have my feelings, and we're not going to go into Mitch Trubisky diatribe.
No, I mean, it may come up later on down the road. Who knows? But
yes,
we
I'm
can
sure
we can
Buffalo week, we're going to have a lot of discussion. I'll bring
Mhm.
Logan Frost on with me, make sure his mic works.
Weren't they saying it was that Fields Trubisky starting against each other?
Trubisky, yes, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, that Justin Fields moment coming out of the tunnel for the first time, stepping onto Soldier Field. I don't care that it's preseason. This is the only simulation that you can get of football. And the smartest man to our Bears nerd will tell you, this is where you separate the men from the boys with live reps. We're always talking about reps. Obviously, if you are a big fan of this show, you know, there's no bullshit. There's straight, candid truth, and there's just complete honesty. As a coach, I'm setting my precedence on practice and toughness. I've already said and seen all of those. There's no politics. Unfortunately, with the Chicago Bears, the fucking politics have leaked into football decisions. Wow. So as Ivan, my boy over at Sean and Maya's right there, this is a huge moment because everybody and their brother, from our guy Louis Riddick to my man, my buddy Adam Rank on the NFL Network, all eyes on me. What's that? All eyes on me. All eyes on Justin. There's no doubt.
100%.
Andy Dalton's going to be starting game one, according to everybody that I trust that knows this team. We get it. But there is that narrative. There is those blog boys, those motherfucking blog boys out there.
Blog boys.
Right, bullets that are going to go. And they're going to have their pens and their calculators and their typewriters and their keyboards and whatever the fuck else they are going to have to watch Justin Fields. And they're going to have their story. Just like, yes, Jeff Hughes, you did back in November saying, Justin Fields, I want no fucking part of him. Caden, can you get that tweet somewhere? And let's not forget that you took that stance because he's a franchise killer. That's what he said. Now he's a savior. So everybody has their opinions. Justin Fields, the fucking spotlight, the pressure, everything. This city has chewed up and spit out quarterbacks like freaking, I don't know, who does dip, Chris? Like a pitcher in baseball doing
there
dip.
You go.
That's
you
like
did
the
well.
city of Chicago, just spitting out.
Dude, we used to have a banner of all the quarterbacks from starting in 2000, and I couldn't fit all the freaking players in the list because there's like over 400 characters. There was like 35 guys. I mean, it was fucking crazy.
The only thing worse is the Cleveland Browns list. You could see, but the Bears are there. And I've said this for the record. We're going to get into a lot of this. I see the chat is hot.
Yes, sir. We want to hear from you. Fire some questions away. Let us know.
We're going to get into it. We got a lot of surprises tonight. A lot of surprises. Obviously, the smartest man.
Some not so good, though, you know.
Oh, gee. But we got a lot of stuff. We're going to have a special guest coming up at 9:30 East. But right now, stepping in the plate, the seat, the guy that we didn't do a fucking raffle for Shayne. I wanted to test this guy's mic before he got on the show.
It's probably not working. Who knows? He's big time now, doing interviews and shit.
He's coming back for week 2, my buddy. There he is. Greg Braggs. Who's better? You've gotten more fucking reps than Justin Fields has at practice.
I know it, man. It's busy. And the world never stops turning here at the Braggs residence.
There you go. Nobody's more lucky than you. I got to give Jenny Braggs some fucking love.
Saint.
She gives you Saint Jenny.
Yep.
Saint Jenny giving you A lot of love. We got a lot to get into. I don't want to.
Well, you talked about surprises, Phil, not to cut you off, but I'm going to give all the people a big surprise here because, you guys got your birthday. Remember your big birthday videos that everyone enjoyed. So I gotta do this for the 100 crew.
You're going Bert Kreischer
the
on us?
nipples here.
Sweet.
And I got to don the shirt. I had the other shirt on, but I made sure to bring it. But I wanted to get topless for Jackal because I know how much he enjoys my physique.
We literally just watched
exactly
75 people come off the fucking show.
Rocking
Dude, way to hit the brakes on the show, Greg. Good job. The fucking viewership just went.
Here is called the Cobb Quickie.
Everybody around the world is getting out their Cobb Quickies, and that you did a fucking costume change live on the air.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, up with hope, down with dope down there. What the fuck was that? Holy cow.
Guys.
Cherie's crying in the background. I could see her.
Cherie, there was nipples, but hey.
You got two nipples there, not just one. You got the total package.
People get offended with me cursing for whatever. I mean, have you
we just had a naked man, so,
I told my own father. He's like, listen, you guys have the greatest show. I'm telling you, but you gotta stop cursing, Philip. And I go, Dad, it ain't fucking happening. Just like that. And he laughed. And I was like, this is what it's. I can't do something I'm not. This is who I am. So when I meet you, and I want to meet so many of these fucking 100 crew fanatics.
Oh, come on, Cherie. You know you liked it. Come on.
So, anyway, Greg with the costume change. Let's get into this depth chart. Earlier this week, or last night, it just appeared in the middle of the night. I was talking to a former Bear when it appeared, and he's like, did you see this depth chart? I'm like, no. And he sent it over to me, and we were talking about it. So do we have some of that depth chart we can get up here, bring it onto the show? Let's get into it. Some of these things are surprises here. Let's obviously start. Everybody, Greg, is talking about the offensive tackle. We started the show with me, give me a tackle or give me death. You were on that show in that moment, and it's come out, guys, that the Chicago Bears were going to take Tevin Jenkins at 20 if they weren't able to trade up. So if you're just hearing that now, yes, I'll repeat it. That has come out, confirmed. Ryan Pace and company, we're going to take Tevin at 20 if they couldn't trade up for Justin Fields, who they've eyeballed, and they've had, obviously we all know the story. So now they got him here. He's been sitting out. Listen, right here, Lachavious Simmons is topping off the board there at right tackle. James Daniels, right guard, if you're listening on the podcast. Sam Mustipher at center. Cody White here at left guard. And Elijah Wilkinson, the free agent they signed from Denver, who's more of a right tackle. But I thought he was coming in here, obviously, to be that swing guy. Yeah. So he's going to get the start this Saturday. That's your offensive line first team. The second team, and I'm telling you right now, we're going to get into other positions. We're starting with the offensive line, Red Hat Duck. Guy Tyrone Wheatley Jr. has been a surprise for me. Watching Greg Bragg's tape, because the NFL doesn't give us any, and neither do the fucking Bears, the Gestapo Bears. The Gestapo Bears, Greg. I don't know. They have signs up all over the place about no
best kept secret
shooting. No shooting video. Greg, today.
The Braggs rule.
Way to go, jerk.
Talk about what happened today, Greg, real quick. Today, there's a storm that goes in, and there's a rule written into the Chicago Bears. They went to the Miami Dolphins media, and I'm paraphrasing here, and told them because there's no fans, because of the storm, nobody can shoot any video footage of practice.
Yeah, when fans are there and it's an open practice, as they call it, then the media, they still can't do video or pictures. They can only do video or pictures in a very limited time at the very start of like the warm-up session of camp in the first 10 minutes. So they can't even show anything when it becomes legitimate one-on-ones or 7-on-7, 11-on-11s, but they can at least live tweet what's going on during practice while fans are there. But when fans are not there, it's what's considered a closed practice. So when the fans were there this morning and they're warming up, it's a live practice. Then all of a sudden this storm rolls in. They move everybody into the Walter Payton Center, which I got to go in a few times, and it was gorgeous there. And it's a beautiful facility, but they moved everybody in there to keep them out of the rain before they moved them back to the buses. I don't know about that, but maybe a little bit.
That's how you can afford to take so many days off from work. Is that what's going on?
You got thank God
some moonlighting career.
Thank God I didn't try to go today. I mean, seriously, it took every ounce of my being to not try to go today or tomorrow. Really? With it being a joint practice, I've never gotten to see a joint practice because they never did those at Bourbonnais. They would always go to the other team's facilities like the New England Patriots or the Indianapolis Colts. So I've never gotten to see a joint practice. And sometimes those can be the best competitive action because if there's a fight that breaks out, nobody gets suspended. They just get the whistles blown and then you start playing again. So that's where serious competition goes down. So it's killing me that I can't go tomorrow, but Daddy's got to work and Addie's got her first day of preschool tomorrow. So I will not be in attendance. But as far as today is concerned, they move them into the Walter Payton Center to get them back on the buses. So now all of a sudden it becomes a close practice. And then the media is extremely restricted as to what they're allowed to report while it's going on. And the Dolphins media is sitting there like, what? Like they're not used to this. They're used to being able to tweet out videos and everything else and live stream it if they want. But nope. The Chicago Bears, they've got the Greg Braggs rule in there, so now nobody can have fun. But then the irony of all of this is, I mean, did you guys see the video? And I'm sure everybody in the chat saw it as well because it's been viewed over 1 million times on social media. But the sidearm throw in the corner of the end zone from Justin Fields.
My boy Robert Cook sent that to me. And
to Riley Ridley, correct?
Yes.
A hell of a play. To me, I would determine that as his best play by far of any day that I've seen him. I highlighted it on Twitter. I didn't get a caption of it with pictures because the play right before that, he had a nice play. So I actually missed it with my camera, but I saw it with my own 2 eyes and it was incredible because he rolls out to the left of the pocket. He gets pushed out of the pocket from pressure and he has an open lane to run.
Caden, can you pull that clip and share it?
Absolutely. Pull that up. It's on all platforms, so it shouldn't be hard to find.
Ridley looked like you catching that ball in that foam pit when you were catching passes, Brad.
Did you like that athleticism?
Thereof. I mean, Jesus.
My tummy kind of came out too.
You call it a tummy?
Stay there for a second.
Little tummy.
The reality of the Gestapo Bears doing this is, I don't know. It's like your family, and the extension of your family embarrassing you by not doing what's correct. What's correct is you have a guest at your house that are there to do a job and cover a football team. Cover a goddamn football team. Yeah. And you are over there saying, no, it's the brand, whatever the fuck rule you came up with. That you're going to put signs up. There's no video. And I said this a while ago. The Gestapo Bears has to stop. Yeah. You're not giving any trade secrets away here. Here's the play. So
incredible play.
Breaks out of the pocket, sidearm slings it, and becomes a football.
And what you don't see in the video is, is Riley Ridley is locked up at the goal line right here and right as he comes out. He's locked up. And Justin could have seen that and just tried to run. But instead, he waits for the separation, changes his arm angle, and throws a dart. And what I was going to say to this video is, this is prohibited video that we're seeing right here.
He threw it.
Look at that. Pulling it back. Pull it back a little bit. So here's the balance. If you're listening on the podcast, obviously, if you haven't seen it, he squares his shoulders. Look at that front foot. He plants on that foot that's from the right foot while he's going to turn his body and shoulders square and delivers a dime in the back of the end zone. Ridley, our guy, catches it in the back of the end zone. It's something we haven't seen. It's
exactly.
But the irony of this video that I was going to point out, Phil, is this is a prohibited video that a fan took who isn't a
Snuck it, Shayne.
Exactly.
He's doing
the reason
6
he
to
can
7
do that
months now
is because he's not a Twitter personality or a media credentialed press. Exactly. He's just a fan incognito there. So he shares it. And what is so funny about this, Phil, is if you go on the NFL's Twitter account and their Instagram account, they took that video, credited the fan, and shared it. Even though it is against the Bears' rules, the NFL was still like, no, we're going to show this
is the
to
NFL.
The world.
Come on.
This is great advertisement. This is exactly what we should be promoting. And the Bears are, let's suppress it and just keep it under lock and key because, God forbid we.
And when the Bears put out their 1.5-minute highlight reel of the day, that play wasn't in it.
It wasn't because they were over there talking to Jeff Dickerson, who's doing a 20 spot, not watching practice.
Larry Bear.
This is the fucking problem with the Gestapo Bears. They don't understand these moments. It's Greg Braggs at your fan fest getting in the tunnel,
give him a fucking
capturing
job.
the moment. It's the fan that's at practice with his fucking phone by his side, hiding it between his wife's purse, filming that play, capturing it. This is an embarrassment that you're telling the Miami Dolphins press, who's traveled up here to do their job. You can't do your job. Not here. We don't want anybody to see our guys in shorts. We're going to put out Larry Mayer's fucking 1 minute and 12-second video. This is how many years have I said this shit? Ryan,
you fucked it all up, dude.
222. You're in charge of fucking football stuff, not Ted Phillips, right? That's what you said. They contradicted and you talk down to us and you get to this point where it's an embarrassment. I got 3 guys going to fucking Hallis Hall tomorrow. That's my truth. How many of them could film the fucking practice? Greg sent me fucking great tape that I want to share on the show. We can't. I'm afraid
we'll get dinged.
They'll go and shut our show down. I'm not going to take that chance.
That's
the Gestapo Bears.
Yeah.
You want reality. You want truth. Don't find that shit. You're not going to find it at the blog. It's bullshit.
No.
Right? Michael Tran, it's bullshit. It's an embarrassment. You think the New England Patriots are live streaming their inter-squad practice. Here, fans. Here, Logan and the Philippines. We know your season. We know you love this team. There's a fucking kid dying with of tragedy. He needs a heart transplant, wants to see his Bears. That's it. Guy gets shot, just wants to see Justin. Nope, not with our Bear. We can't let you see. Oh, my God. You want truth? That's the truth. If I'm the fucking head coach, I want everybody to see.
Of course.
Fetty standing over there if he's lazy. I want everybody to know Eddie Goldman doesn't want to play.
And what's funny too is you're seeing some
accountability too for the players.
Funny too is you're seeing some people in the chat mention it. But yeah, Ryan Pace comes up to me. I asked to take a picture of him after he talked to some of the his family and his coach's family. And when he was done with them, I was like, "Hey Ryan, you want to take a picture?" He walks up and he puts his hand out and he's like, "Greg, right?" And he was kind of flexing on me a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, now you're making me nervous." You know, I was like, "That's funny." And he was like, "No, man, you're all good. I appreciate what you do for the team. You're a great fan." And then we got into the discussion about how impressed I was.
This guy's fucking flexing, Greg Braggs.
Go to another fucking channel, Steve. There's no fake. I'm fucking pissed off. You want to know why? Because I live in the backyard of New England, and I have a dynasty. You know what the Bears have? Nothing. Nothing.
But it's just funny to me. Like, why would Ryan say, "Hey, I appreciate what you do. You're a great fan," but you're restricting me. I'm trying to help by just showing fans that don't have an opportunity to be there. Just give them a little bird's eye view of not just the practice plays, but the atmosphere, the campus. I'm not even allowed to do a video of the drum line when I walk in. Like, come on, guys. Like, this is silliness.
And Phil and Greg, New England is like the most secretive team in the NFL, right? Exactly. They'll do it if they're not cheating, they're not trying, and they stream their fucking practices. And it's like Chicago's like, nope, can't do it. We don't want anybody to have anything. It makes no sense. But I don't understand fake outrage,
Steven. So go there. I know. So The reality is,
trust me, this isn't fake outrage from Phil. If anybody wants to see the film at practice, it's the guy that does the tape never lies.
Exactly.
Freaking
what do you want? I
breakdown.
want the
Jesus.
paint. You can't. I cannot wait to Saturday.
Steve stepped in it.
Guess what? You can't hide from me Saturday. You cannot hide. And you know what? You want truth? Look in the motherfucking mirror and ask yourself how you know Greg Braggs. You don't know Greg Braggs because he knows football. You know him because he knows where to put that fucking camera and capture a moment so you can share that shit with Justine, Cheryl, Joe, and Steve motherfucking whatever the fuck his name is. Clown Boy Steve. So you can share that shit around just like the hypocrisy that the Chicago Bears did and the NFL did. They took the fans' video that wasn't supposed to be and used that to promote the Chicago Bears. And to me, that is a showcase of your hypocrisy. That is a showcase of a bullshit culture. And granted, this guy I've seen Coach Nagy call plays. He, not Tevin Jenkins, and we haven't gotten into this shit, is my number one worry. Coach Nagy. He knows it. I'll say it to his face when we get the opportunity. He is my worry. How he uses his personnel. Does he allow politics to enter? If you're so worried about Greg Bragg shooting a video of Cole Kmet in shorts, helmet, and shoulder pads running through the seam and making a goddamn catch in a 7-on-7 drill, then you're the issue. So who's making that call? That's all of them to answer. Who's calling the shots, ATHF 2000? George, Ted, Matt, and Ryan. All of those guys have made that call. They went down there. I could tell you even more. I got beat guys complaining to me. I'm not going to say no names, but I'll say this. They're fucking shutting you down once you're able to be shut down. And that to me is the hypocrisy of this team. And you know why? Because the Chiefs aren't doing it. The same guy. I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid has taught me everything. Blah, 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 blah. Andy. Well, Andy ain't fucking shutting his media down. They're showing highlights all over the place.
No, Johnny B was at camp doing all sorts of video because they're proud of their quarterback. They want to share their quarterback with the world.
Exactly.
They're not scared of anybody.
They're not stupid. I mean, they know a good thing when they see it.
I have no concern whatsoever what anybody thinks. This is my real stance. This is embarrassing to me. My father said it. You know what's going to be more embarrassing? Not giving Justin Fields one fucking rep with the ones. That's going to be embarrassing too. You want to see a rant? You better turn on BHL Saturday. You're going to see this guy, Greg, and Alex Acevedo, and all these guys live. And I'm going to rant my ass off afterward when I see how they handle this personnel, because there's nothing you can say. Remember bubble wrapped, Greg? Who was the two guys yelling and screaming right here? And I had all these fucking trolls. Yeah, this is the new day and age. I had Aldo Gandia. Phil, you don't know it. It's not right. That was when I got offended by him. Aldo, you know it. Fucking, you took a shot at my father then. This ain't your dad's I formation. This is new NFL. You got to keep everyone healthy. Nope. This is football, baby. You want the game of football? I'll tell you what it's about. I played the game. I coached the game. I scouted the game. I love this game. And when I see someone neglectful of it and its beauty, like I don't go to the fucking soccer coach and tell him how to coach his team. I don't know soccer. But I look at football and I see politics invading, the grubby little hand crew of Nagy, right, Sean Sierra? Then we got an issue. And there's no script on this motherfucking show. Tevin Jenkins, guys. Yes, I'm worried about Tevin Jenkins for now. Everybody's worried about because we don't know anything. Again, the Gestapo Bears. He's getting better. He's getting this. You make
The only thing we know is he had a sore back in college. He had the same issue he dealt with then. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why he might have slipped to the second round, if anything. But outside of that, they're being cautious. They are being cautious and optimistic. He sounds like he's really frustrated from what Nagy's saying. He wants to be out there, but
if I'm the Bears, going back to the depth chart, I'm looking at whatever left tackle is on the street currently or one that could potentially be cut from another team just to give yourself an insurance policy, because it sounded like today the offensive line had a tough time with the front seven of the Dolphins. Granted, the Dolphins had a tough time with the Bears front seven. This is that time of year where the defense is going to be ahead of the offense, but still I want to, if we are worried about Tevin Jenkins back or whatever it is with his health, I want to bring him along slowly to make sure that whatever it is rectified. He's obviously not on the PUP list, so that's encouraging, maybe, but I don't know what to read from that because he's out there in shorts every day doing nothing. Absolutely. I haven't seen him do anything. Granted, I got my eyes on the action on the field, but he's not doing anything. So I'm trying to pick up a left tackle. And then if Elijah Wilkinson, as you said, is more of a right tackle from Denver, then put him on the right side until Jermaine Ifedi's ready to go, because Justin Fields is not coming in until they get that offensive line right. So if we all want to see Justin Fields, then they got to get the offense line and the run game going first.
There's guys available if they wanted somebody. I mean, they could go out.
You heard this moron.
Hey, I know that feeling, Jackal.
Talk about the offensive line getting gelled near the end of the season. This is Coach Nagy, and I'm paraphrasing. Watch when I talk, Jackal, because I'm talking football now. And no politics. I'm bringing you back in, but behave.
You're the new
Coach
chatter.
Nagy talking about, well, you saw then, pointing out Mustafa. This Mustafa was on the practice squad. They started Alex Bars at center before they could figure it out. They couldn't figure out David Montgomery, but you want me to sit here and believe? I'm going to believe, and it's all Mitch. No, it isn't. I've broken this shit down like nobody. Go over to our network. It's all there. This is coaching fundamentals. If Matt Nagy says, I want this run play block like this, then Harry Heastan, you're out of here. You're not coaching it how I want. You're the head coach. You decide. Critical situation, 4th and 1. Who's in the game, Greg? It's not David. It's Cordero fucking Patterson, who has the instincts of a fucking ram into a wall. That's not who you want.
Yeah, speed, and you run him to the short side of the field where he can't even use the speed.
These things you all know, but you forget because we're, Charles Leno. Charles was average. No, none of that is true. That's what we stand by. If you don't like the truth and you don't like me, that's fine. Go to fucking watch another show. But I have so much tired anger towards this. I'm tired of Mark Trestman's. I'm tired of John Fox's and Jay Cutler's. That guys that don't give two fucks and are so worried about themselves. You want to win the game?
Amen.
It's together is how you win this fucking game. I will get every motherfucker on up run 7 plays. 7. And until you stop us, that's how you get your guys on your side. And if it's Dieter Eisland that's better than Sam Mustafa, then you put him in there. Fuck the narrative. Get the best players on the fucking field. It's not that hard. Ryan, you're the GM. You're there watching practice. Don't let the politics. Don't worry about Tevin. If Tevin's on a sled pushing it up the hill, that's telling me they're waiting for him to be perfectly healthy. Let's test him out. How's your back doing? We got to trust that aspect of the trainers and everything. Don't start fucking going on. This is Chris Williams too. We haven't even played a game. Let's watch and see. This could be nothing. Remember Curtis Enos and Cedric Benson, all these holdouts. That's something different. This football team, Tevin Jenkins on tape is as talented as any tackle I've ever seen with the Bears. That's on tape. How he transitions is an unknown right now because he's been hurt. We got to trust that process. Fuck the whys. I'm going to lose my mind if we hear about this whys. There's no why. The whys. No, you're not wise. Get wise. Get wise and hold everybody accountable. If Alex Bars is your best right tackle, then put him fucking there and leave him there and get him ready. Yeah, give him a few reps at guard to be prepared, but get him ready. That's it. That's what your job is to do. And hopefully that guy right there becomes your focus.
What are you talking
32 is the identity. How many times? How many times do I have to say it? I love David Montgomery. I'm a fan of David because of what David does on the football field. And I go back again. You ain't going to do it selfish. You're going to do it together. And if you can't get that going in your fucking heads, then I don't know what to tell you. But I believe when I look at this roster on paper, Greg, you've been at the practices. This team has a championship fucking defense. And I told you we're going to get back into the fucking depth chart and a lot of other stuff. I've been fired up tonight. But the Tevin Jenkins stuff, let's just pause, as Cool Kennedy would say, and see how that plays out. Everything else will go. And Greg, you're 100% right. Justin Fields has to be protected. You need to get the offensive line together and cohesive. I think you got some parts. I'm not a big believer in Sam Mustipher on the tape. I trust my boy Olin Kreutz. He loves him. I love Dieter. The games are going to fucking tell. If you're a patron, you saw X's with the O's, and you saw my father say, I loved Larry Borum the most out of all the tackles in the draft. The Bears have him, and then I liked your guy, Jenkins. So you got two of these top guys, right? One's a little banged up, nicked up, and we're going to find out what he is. And Borum had a concussion, and these things happen. So let's not put the panic button. We'll find out some answers. And right now, watching Greg, as I was saying way back, watching the Braggs tape, I was able to see a lot of things I like about this kid, Tyrone Wheatley Jr., son of Tyrone Wheatley, the former first-round pick of the Giants,
beast,
and running back from Michigan. So there's bloodlines there. Listen, it's going to be exciting. My father spoke the truth. You're right, Jimmy Jam. And everybody has an opinion about stuff. So it's I'm excited about seeing it. We're going to have Larry back on the show. Dieter's going to come back. We're going to talk about a lot of the offensive line stuff this year. A lot of exciting news and guests. Speaking of guests, let's get into our first surprise guest, but I can't see his camera. Could he allow his camera?
There he is, handsome devil.
All right, get him in here. Our first guest tonight. We're going to switch up, Greg, and get back to the fire and passion. Fire and passion is this guy, Marvin Baruda. Marvin, where are you from?
I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Originally from
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I'm currently in Des Plaines.
Des Plaines, there you go. I don't even know where the Des Plaines are, but but I trust you, man. You, though, have a unique story, right, Greg? This guy paints. If you've seen some of these cleats, this guy right here, Marvin Baruda. I actually met Marvin way back, fucking 9 back when I first was starting out. This guy is a class act. And a great human being, and he does these things. Well, I'll let you talk about it, but he paints these cleats. Do we have any pictures? He did some Justin Fields stuff. We're trying to get those pictures up, Jackal.
Right here, buddy. Right here.
Justin
there we go.
Fields cleats right there. Those are official Baruda. Can I call them the Baruda cleats?
Yeah.
The Magruder
film.
You
can do that.
The Baruda cleats.
They're dope as fuck, dude.
He does a lot of dope stuff. You do it all around the leagues. How did you get started doing this, especially as a fan? I would love to know how you started getting into this.
Well, this is my first podcast, by the way. A lot of people have asked me to do their podcast and stuff, and I've said no. But so it's an honor to be on here for the first time for me. And then, you guys, I've kept up with some of your guys' stuff, so I appreciate you guys reaching out. But my story, so it was when Trevathan had first came to Chicago.
Okay.
He, I was like just messaging constantly through Instagram, through Twitter, through Snapchat, and then he finally gave in, and a lot of these athletes, that's the last thing that's on their mind. And at that time, no one really knew what it was, So I kind of was just like messaging him like, hey, dude, like just meet me at Hallis Hall by security and just give me a pair and then I'll take care of the rest. And we had gotten him in like July maybe. So I didn't end up getting a pair of cleats until October, a couple days before the Vikings game for Halloween.
Oh, really?
And it was a Monday night. So yeah, so I was on his ass. I was just like, dude, just give me the chance, And finally he gave me the chance, and man, like it's still surreal. Like, I mean, now we're like really close, but like at the time, because this is the only sport I watch. I don't care about basketball. I don't care about any other sport besides football. I don't watch any other sport either. So it's just like 6 months of just straight Chicago Bears football, and then after that, I just go and hibernate. So yeah, I just reached out to him, and then he ended up giving it to me, and he gave me like 2 days pretty much to do them.
Really?
And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I had no idea. I was YouTubing, going on, there was no one I can ask either. It's not like a class you could go to or whatever. So yeah, he ended up I ended up doing it was the Halloween theme. It was just blue and orange. And I didn't even know rules at the time. The rules at the time were like team color, know this, know that. Yeah, so I ended up doing his, and then we ended up doing many pairs after that. And then it kind of blew up, and then that's when I got to Tyrann Mathieu, and then Tyrann Mathieu just took me on another level.
Yeah, by sharing this stuff, obviously the Monday Night Football cameras captured it too. I remember it very well. And then Twitter, Greg sharing and Shayne sharing with me this. And I'm like, wait a second, I know this guy. And I appreciate you jumping on this show. Obviously, a lot of fire, a lot of passion, just like you. I don't watch any of this. Greg and Shayne talk to me about baseball bat. I'm like, can we talk football, please? I have no idea what you're fucking talking. I don't know this white dude who can jump and dunk from the Lakers that the Bulls got. I just want to do my thing here with the Bears. Obviously, it's a love-hate relationship that we have with them. Greg, you had a question for Marvin.
Yeah, so getting linked up with these players, obviously big opportunity for you, but then the NFL does the my cause, my cleats, situation. You were able to get involved with that as well, correct?
Yeah, so I did the my cause, my cleats. My first year, it was Marquise Wilson and Crevom LeBlanc. So that meant no one was doing it back then. Yeah, no one was doing it at that time. And then it was against the 49ers. I remember that. I think we ended up beating them. Yeah, we ended up beating them. I think Colin Kaepernick was quarterback. So it's been quite some time. But yeah, so I did that, and then the year after, I ended up doing, I think it was like 40 or 50 pairs. We did. Yeah, there was
for just my cause, my cleats.
For my cause, my cleats.
What's your favorite of all the causes that you've been able to be a part of? Which is the one maybe that's your favorite one, if you could pick one in particular?
Man, honestly, one of my favorites of all time, actually, it was Mike Glennon's cleats. They were CPD, Chicago Police Department. They
Did
just
you put a
man, they
giraffe
just
on the
meshed-
back of it?
He had to
They
fit his
just
Glennon
meshed
shot.
well. Yeah, those are one of my top favorite ones, and not not to get political or anything. I just love the way they turned out.
Right.
With the city, and then like I don't know, they're just one of my favorites.
In
If
Chicago,
you
it
ask me-
represents Chicago.
Yeah, and that's
your
another thing. It
city.
represents Chicago.
Absolutely.
That
Now,
would
how
be my
long do
favorite
you?
one.
What do you do? Because you got two of these to paint. So does the player come to you with an idea or a plan, and you just take it from there? Or how does that process go about? And then you got to follow some strict guidelines with the rules when it
Yeah.
comes to something like this. There you are, right there.
Definitely.
For those of you at
Those are
home.
for
Number
Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen cleats right
Yeah.
there. If you're
Mhm.
listening on the podcast, Marvin Baruda, you could follow him. What's your Twitter handle, Marvin?
Marvin Baroda, and then same with my Instagram as well. Same thing.
At Marvin Baruda. Oh, Baroda.
Correct.
That's how you say it? 'Cause I was saying-
Baroda, same thing.
What, I want to know what you prefer. What do you prefer? Baruda, Baroda?
Baruda.
All right. I like Baruda better. You sound like a linebacker.
Yeah.
Baruda. Get in there.
I wish. I actually played high school football for 4 years, so
Did you?
yeah. I was
There you go.
buck
What
25,
position?
so
Buck
corner
25
safety.
playing corner, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Greg, you've cleared up. Your screen is clear. Your eyes are blue like the oceans in Punta Cana, Dominican
that?
Republic. I love it. I had another question for Marvin. When you're doing other teams, right?
Mhm.
Then the Chicago Bear, you mentioned Tyrann Mathieu. So did you have to do a Green Bay Packer cleat? And what was that like?
I'll tell you. So I think you had a question prior to that about the players reaching out and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, I did.
I'll answer that one.
Look at you. You're a star on this.
Johnny on the spot.
So let's say if you reach out, sometimes they'll just be like, hey, like do whatever you want. Guidelines, team colors, that's for sure. Unless it's like a collab, so like the Tariq Cohen ones. It was a collab with Lyric Lemonade, which is a Chicago-based. They do like music videos and stuff. They're really big in Chicago. So that one, you could do whatever. They're not wearing them on the field. It was just a gift. But usually it's team color. Sometimes they'll tell me what they want. Sometimes they'll just be like, dude, do whatever. Make me stand out. So it just depends on the player. But to answer your other question, I did do a pair for Ty Montgomery. I'm sure you remember Ty Montgomery.
Number 88.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. I did a pair. He had messaged me on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Friday. I ended up doing the pair. I drove to Green Bay. And I delivered it to him Saturday morning before they got onto the bus to head out. So it sucks sometimes because I'm like, dude, I hate them. As it's as like when they go against us, not like individually. So I'm just like, dude, I'm like, whatever, Yeah, it's business at the end of the day.
Did you put what Berlissimo was saying? A little like, if it showed up on a black light, you're like, Green Bay sucks on the back, in, like invisible.
A hidden message.
Hidden message.
I put some needles inside.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like slip some weights into the cleat, like underneath, so it slows them down.
That would be dope. Yeah, we're putting some weights in these cleats.
Yeah, no one would know.
Let me ask you this, Marvin. In your time working directly with these guys, did you ever come across Cam Good, who also does some side work with these guys with visually stuff? Because I just love how both of you bring like the artistic swerve to football. Football is a beautiful sport, and I just feel like you two are kind of have this symmetry of a great style and finesse to the way you bring art to football.
Yeah, so Cam Good is a legend. I love his
legend.
work. He used to work for the Bears actually.
I know.
Yeah.
They dropped the fucking ball and let him go too, and hired someone named Tawiki.
Yeah, but honestly, it's a lot better for him because he was able to branch out. He's done a lot of things with a lot of other Chicago teams, so it's honestly better for him. Sky's the limit for him now. Where it's like when you're with the team, you're like they're there all day. With production and editing and post production, all that kind of stuff, and he does a lot of the work that was handled on the Bears. That's why their media was so dope back in then. And now, I mean, not that it's bad, but it's decent, but nothing where
not Cam Good's
it's horrific.
level.
It's horrific.
No,
I'll say it.
Have you guys ever considered a collab of any kind? I mean,
So
if anybody's good at highlighting someone's work, it's him.
Look at those cleats.
Yeah. So those were for the Hall of Fame game. Actually, Tilly Gable got fined for those.
Did he?
Because it said because it said Turbo on there.
Oh,
stupid.
God. Well, how much?
How
much do you know? Was the fine like $10,000? Or?
I think it was. It used to be if it was not team color. Brandon Marshall was one of them when he wore his green.
That.
That was a night game. But I think it was like 900 or 600. It's 9 or 6. It was one or the other.
Easy in that. Yeah. I would eat that too if I had a message to say, especially if I'm making that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this: artistically, I'm sorry. Finish Greg's question.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry.
So Cam, when I did the official My Cause My Cleats, when I did the 50 pairs, he was actually here with, he was the one who set up everything and did the whole 9 on like the videography, photography, and all that kind of stuff. We keep in touch here and there, but man, he's so busy.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, dude, whenever you have time, it's cool. If not, and plus the thing is with me, I'm not busy all year. So the time I'm busy, he's busy. The time when I'm not busy, he's still busy. So, but soon, eventually, definitely.
Sure.
Let me say this to the audience real quick.
I can't read those comments.
Don't worry about the comment. It's just an observation. It's cool that Alex Smith, the chat room, is saying that he's there. That Doug Peterson has come there to practice to help out Justin Fields was the comment, and I agree. We're gonna get into that. We have Marvin Baruta, artist. He does all these cleats and does his artistic flavor to them. If you're just tuning in. We're taking a little break from the football talk, obviously getting you ready for Bears, Dolphins. Those of you seeing in the chat room or anywhere about Deshaun Watson being cut or waived, that is just a false account. There's no truth to that. Until Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport report these things, just know that there's a lot of fucking guys that want to be first, that want to be funny. That's not any news. So he is still on the Houston Texans for now. Obviously, they want to get some. It's nobody's fault. Everybody gets freaking caught up by that, Cam. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to clear that up and ask you this question. When you have this cleat, it's not an easy thing, I would imagine, to paint. Or what is there special paints that you use for these? Obviously, you've already listed that you got to stay within the color scheme of the team and what have you there. But is there a special paint that you attack these things? And what's your day job, as Tom Boson was asking in the chat? Is this what you do for a living, or is this something on the side that you're doing?
So in the previous pictures when you were showing the My Cause My Cleats of what's his name, Crevon LeBlanc. I didn't know what I had no idea what I was using. So that's why in those the rain had tore up the paint. But over time I learned what I can and can't use. I use a brand called Angelus paint. They're flexible. It's a flexible acrylic paint used for like leather and stuff like that. So it works perfectly fine. Everything that you see on my Instagram or on my website, which my website's down for some reason, I gotta figure that out. Everything is used from Angelus paint.
How come the swoosh? That's a good question from
Yeah.
Eric Alley. How come the Nike swoosh was backwards there?
Absolutely no idea. It's that whole design. That whole design of those cleats. It's called the Nike Untouchable Pros. They're all like that. Couldn't tell you why.
So,
Yeah.
HL Priest had a question for you from the chat. If you have a question for Marvin in the chat, please get it up. Get it.
You can tell
rolling.
Braggs is a sneakerhead though with that question. Just throwing it out there.
I am not. I definitely am not a sneakerhead. I finally upgraded from my K Swisses in high school.
Hey, I had a pair of K Swisses in elementary school. Who was your, obviously being a Chicago Bears fan, Marvin, like, is there a guy that was your favorite player and now who's somebody that you really are excited about? Obviously Justin Fields, but is there anybody else, and who has been your favorite Bears player here?
Man, my favorite Bears player. That's a tough question. Devin Hester for sure. I would say
you and Greg.
Yeah, Devin Hester. He actually reached out to me not too long ago for his son.
Oh,
But then
really?
COVID happened. Yeah, COVID happened, and then football was shut down, and so on and so forth. What was the other question?
Who's your guy on the team now?
My guy on the team, Trevathan, man.
Danny
Trevathan.
T.
Yeah, but if this guy was still on the team, he'd definitely be my number one. It'd be Zach Miller for sure, no doubt.
Oh, Zach.
Yeah,
number 86.
Zach is.
We had him on the show.
Zach is a different breed.
Oh my God. You saw the open in the show. There's Zach Miller, amazing dude, friend of the network, great dude. I that's awesome that you brought him up. He's just a great person. When we had him on, he was very vulnerable. Chris Jackal wants to know, do you do any soccer team cleats?
I've never. I mean, they're the same shoes, really. I'll do anything. It doesn't matter. It could be sandals, high heels.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I could
just take anything and paint them. How did you get started painting?
Man, that was my first time ever. Actually, I hated coloring and painting growing up. I would just draw, and yeah.
I mean, it really is an art form. I mean, the detail that you put into these. If you're listening to the podcast, you got to go over to the YouTube channel, The Tape Never Lies. Check out these cleats. I mean, there's a lot of emphasis on detail, color. You know, these are the little things. And I find that players, and this is another thing, un-Chicago Bears Gestapo, it's the NFL Gestapo. There's one area with which, you know, they took away celebrations for touchdowns. They took away, you know, certain sack dances. You can't do that. And there's a lot of obvious things that we could complain about football. But one thing, allow a player to be creative. As much as I am all about the team, I understand that some players get ready and want to look pretty, want to look a certain way. Psychologically, that helps them perform. And to be able to have your brand or have a statement or you stand up to cancer, whatever it is, this kind of stuff should be something that is allowed, in my opinion. And you just are a superstar when it comes to this stuff. Have you done a Ryan Pace pair of cleats? Alex Acevedo would like to know. Has Ryan Pace?
Actually, yes, I did a Ryan Pace. I did a pair for Ryan Pace. This was back in Bourbonnais, not last year, the year before, or not last year because last year was closed, but the year before. I just saw him driving on his golf cart, and I was like, hey, Ryan. So when I said, hey, Ryan, he's like, who the hell's calling me by my first name?
Right.
So he like pulled over, and then I was just like, hey, dude, like, I want to make you a pair of custom shoes, you know? And then he's like, okay. He's like, when do you want to meet? I was like, I'll do my thing. I'll see you in a couple days at camp. And then he's like, okay, that's fine. So the video is on my Twitter.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, the
Alex
video's on my Twitter.
Acevedo did some homework here because I didn't know about
Yeah.
this. That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It-
Yeah,
Now,
he
can
he
you
was
do
happy,
a,
and then he's like, "What's up?"
can you do a TTNL, keeping it 100 pair of cleats for me? I gotta get you. That would be dope. I gotta put that on the show. An original Baruda cleats.
We could do that.
The things I see that you do, if someone gives you just a little bit of an idea, do you just extend it, or do you? Because for me, and tell me if I'm wrong, as a creative person when it comes to music, when I'm working with Cool Kennedy, I'm always like, all right, do you like that? You know, do you do that with them, or do you just do the whole thing and here they are? Do you check in with them? How do you go about it? It's interesting to me.
So let's just say you hit me up and you're like, "Hey, like I want this," and I'll be like, "What do you want? What color scheme?" And that's it. And then I'll just take care of the rest.
That's amazing.
These are the Zach Miller ones, correct?
Those are Zach Millers.
He was never able to wear them because he ended up getting hurt. But on the right shoe, I think it is. Yeah, the right shoe. He has like Deion Sims on a tombstone, and then he had someone else. I forgot who the other player was. He had a couple players on there as a tombstone saying like he's coming back from the grave and all this kind of stuff. So never got to wear them though.
I like this idea by AJ Smith. I want to roll with that. This would be great. Just let me know. Actually, Barlissimo has once again done his part. You know, I don't do Twitter and I just do Instagram. And I'm like, oh shit, now I'm going to follow you on Instagram. I think I do follow you on Instagram. Barlissimo got you on here. Between Greg, Barlissimo, and others, getting great, amazing guests to come on to this show. It's the best Bears show on the planet. It's not even close. You're the best at what you do, and it's amazing tonight because I didn't want to do any research on you, Marvin, because I met you a hell of a long time ago, and I said this guy is gonna go someplace. He's fucking brilliant. That was my truth. This is my truth. I scouted this guy a long time ago, lost track of him. Barlissimo, please give Marvin my personal cell phone, and I want to talk to you about some ideas I have. Obviously, pay you for this. I think I owe you $100 now. Think about it. From back in the day, keeping it on.
Don't worry about it.
You're just an amazing human being, and what you do with your art that you just. I don't even like the color. I didn't even like to draw. Now you're all over the place doing this amazing stuff, Greg. I mean, you're a fan in the stand all the time. You obviously titled your show that. Follow Greg at Brags in the Stands. But Greg, I mean, when you see this kind of stuff as a fan, doesn't it get you a little bit more excited when you're able to see Tariq Cohen and whoever, Javon Wims and Justin Fields have their own personalized cleat, and someone like Marvin going to town to make that special? I just
100%, because in football, like as opposed to basketball or baseball, you know, they got their helmets over their face, you know, so personal identity is so hard to really, you know, blossom in the NFL because, you know, you can't, it's just the face recognition isn't the same. So, you know, for Marvin to be able to bring that kind of swerve to where these guys can have a personal identity on the field and in an artistic way, like you just showed, not just with the paint and the colors, but the vision of it, of like with the Zach Miller, the coming back from the dead. That's something that means something deep to Zach. There's a story behind it. It's not just colors and there's a story behind it. And that to me only enhances the football experience because, you know, for the fans, then you learn something about the player, and for the players, you see that sense of pride. I mean, he did Tariq Cohen's cleats one time. The first game Tariq Cohen ever played, Marvin, I went to the customized Bears jersey shop in the stadium, and I had him put chicken salad on the back. And then I went down by the tunnel, and then freshly print. I mean, the letters just got put on there, and I'm throwing it up to him, and he loved that. He thought that was hilarious because That was his personal identity his rookie year. He wanted everybody calling him chicken salad. And, that's what these guys want, is to be able to be, have that person. Exactly. Not just a brand, but an identity. It's bigger than just the game itself. And the players should be spotlighted like that. And
what?
You do an incredible job, Marvin, of that. You were talking, though, with Ryan Pace story. I'd love to hear the end of it as far as what his reaction
I know
was.
Spence from Australia's pissed at me. Finish what happened? Did Pace, he gets these cleats? How does this end here?
They were just regular sneakers. So he ends up getting them. I regret not getting a picture, but I got a video, like I said. I think it has like 30,000 views or 27,000 views, something like that. I can't remember. So it like blew up on social media because it's like,
is it
the first
still
GM
on your Instagram?
It's on my
Twitter.
My Twitter.
All right, it's on his Twitter.
Yeah, don't do Twitter.
Yeah, I won't. But one of these guys will get it to me because I want to see it. Follow Marvin Baruta at Marvin Baruta. It's BAROOTA. Marvin, MARVIN. Marvin at Marvin Baruta. All one word. You'll find him. Check out his story on Ryan Pace. Check out what he does. Let him know you saw him here on TTNL's Keeping It 100, Shy City Sports as well. We do it all here. We always want different. And I've reached out to musicians, trying to get T-Pain to come on here so bad because of vulnerability. I think that separates these fans. I'll say 95, 98% of them just have the passion for this Chicago Bears team and love for life and embracing that. What you are doing is what Greg said, and I'll piggyback off that. I love the fact that you get the opportunity to do something you're passionate about and bring the Chicago Bears and football, your love, me and you, remember that, love this game, but you're able to do that. It must be the greatest feeling to know that Danny Trevathan or one of these players, Justin Fields, is he going on the football field tomorrow? I mean, Saturday with your cleats?
These are actually the cleats. I still haven't given them to him.
Oh my goodness!
Shit. Look at this. He's got it right here.
That's so badass.
Live
dude.
in his hand. What size does Justin?
And he's wearing those Saturday.
Is he wearing those
12
Saturday?
and a half. No, I haven't. So because of COVID, before I can like drive up and drop them off at security, or like have them meet me there. But now they have it gated off because of the whole camp thing. So once it's over and they clean up on all that kind of stuff, I'll be able to go and deliver them. But until then, can't do much.
We got to get a way to get you over there. Are you busy tomorrow? Are you busy tomorrow?
No. Why? What's up? What do you got in mind?
I got something for you. So Jackal knows.
We'll send you to camp.
We're going to, I'm going to send you to camp tomorrow. Are you down for that?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm dead ass serious.
Perfect, Phil.
I was going to give this away to one lucky fan and try to play a game, but I think this is in the moment, Greg. That's what we do here. No script. I'm going to send you a ticket, a pass to camp tomorrow. You'll be there. Bring the cleats and get it to Justin Fields. However, I will make sure that the people I'm sending with you definitely have the voices to get the attention of the players and the people. This is something I believe in spirituality. I believe in God. I'm not a religious person, Marvin, but I am deeply, deeply spiritual. And God does things in certain ways and brings people together. There is no script, as Jackal saying. This is God telling me, wait a second, send Baruta to camp. Let him enjoy watching Miami Dolphins versus the Chicago Bears in practice, and then give Mr. Justin Fields his cleats that he could wear on Saturday. This show, you and everything you do will be a part of that. That's my gift to you. As long as you have nothing to do, 9 o'clock in the morning, get over there. You're in. I'll get your email. Give me everything. Text me. Barlissimo DM'd my personal cell. Text me just your email and your how to spell. I obviously have spelled the name, so I know how to spell. And I'll send it over to the guy, and he'll send you the ticket, and you'll be there tomorrow live. Do whatever you want. You don't have to film anything, but film it, keep it, do whatever. But that'll be awesome. Even if you don't get, I know you're going to get the opportunity to give this to him. I really do. And this is awesome, man. I'm excited about that. So thank you.
We were supposed to meet.
You believed in this show. You don't go on any other podcast, but you decide to come on this podcast, Greg. And that means a lot to me. And as Sergio is saying, it's the best show ever. We're always keeping it 100. And it's just a little touch of thank you. That compliment. As far as
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I just
look at this.
I personally would like if you did give the ticket to like a fan, because I know Justin Fields, so
That's fine. I want you to go. Seriously, you're a bear. You're a fan. This is God's way, Marvin. You're not going to talk me out of it. Let's not play a fucking game. You're going to camp tomorrow. Even if you don't get to give him the cleats, I think it's fantastic that you, in this moment, Jackal knew exactly what I was thinking. You should have seen, if you could see Jackal, the producer, she's like, yes. Because I was like, oh, well, I have 1 ticket left. I've given 3 away. And listen, as EJ said, that's what's up. That's what we do here. I don't play any games. You're a great human being. Follow this guy. Greg, did you have any, or did we have any other questions for Marvin before we let him go and I start screaming again? No? Do we have any more? Oh, Tom had a great question. One last thing. How long does the average time take for you? Is there like a time frame, or is it each individual for a pair of cleats?
Each individual. So the ones I did for Fields, so those aren't painted. I actually sewed all that together.
Really?
Yeah. That took about.
The guy paints, he sews, he's fucking Da Vinci over here.
that one took about like 15 hours. I had to take the whole shoe and kind of map it out, right? But if I were to paint, I don't think I have anything out that's painted. I don't. Actually, I just made these shoes myself. These Jordan 1s. These are made from scratch.
Holy shit.
And then on the inside it has like the Chicago flag.
Look at that, Greg.
So badass, man.
Look at that, Greg. I know that gets your attention, those stars and those colors.
But on average, if I'm painting, I would say about 7-8 hours. Sometimes 4 hours, depending.
Do these players 7-8 hours, Tom? That's amazing. Now, do these players pay you, or is this something? Okay, I wanted to make.
But honestly, everyone asks me like, "Oh, like you should be a millionaire." Whatever's I charge on my website is what I charge players. It doesn't matter who they are.
That's awesome,
I would charge you the same thing as I would charge, Jeff Bezos for all I care. Like, my price is $300 to $350, and that's just what it is.
Did you make Bezos some astronaut fucking shoes?
Only if I go to the moon with them or Mars, either one.
Greg, pay attention, Greg.
I'm sorry, I actually just found the Ryan Pace video, and I was sending it along to share with the audience because I think this is such a cool moment.
Okay, it's loading because Greg's in a storm. This
had
is
a flat
cool.
top.
This is Baruda from the side. Look at Ryan Pace staring. We're still loading. I don't know what's going on. People want to buy those Air Force Ones. Can they find your website and purchase these?
So I need to get my site updated. Or not updated, but I have to get it. Give me like a couple hours.
Okay.
By the end of the night, the site will be up. And then they can go and email me and request from there.
Have you cornered the market here, or is there other people that do this as well?
No, there's other people that do this as well. There's a lot more people now. When I started, it was literally the year me and two other guys were doing it, and then after that, well, in the NFL, because customized sneakers has been going on for a long time, but in the NFL, it was just me and two other guys, and then
this is you cutting and creating a sneaker right here, sewing.
Correct.
Those of you watching, I'm going to do a little play-by-play. Look at this. He's actually building a sneaker with material, sewing it together. I see blue and orange and white. Then he's cutting it out to frame it up. Does Nike get pissed at shit like this, in all honesty? Or is this something, did we lose Marvin? Shoot, we lost him. We got to get him back. But, I mean, Greg, the time, the energy, and the effort to put into this and to show his talent there. I mean, it's insane. It really is insane. It's what life with the M's is saying. That it is badass. Badass Baruda. Badass Baruda's back. It's amazing. Real quick, does Nike get upset if you do something like that?
No, because it's a custom one of one. They won't. They can't say anything. Yeah.
At least they.
As long as I don't have
if
like.
you tried to sell them in mass production, then it would become an issue, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say if like I contact someone in like China and I'm like, hey, I want these mass produced. A lot of people will. So let's say for instance like this sneaker, right? That I did.
Yep.
So, for instance, like I would just make this into a brush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd make the Nike sign into a brush, and then I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's my, my brand." Nike will come after you for that. So a lot of people do that, and a lot of people get chased. I've never, in the 4 years I've been doing this, I've been messaged once actually, because there was this guy in Miami. It's called Winwood, I think it's called Winwood. There was a painting that Jarvis Landry liked, and this guy was trying to sue me for repainting his painting on a shoe. So it made no sense. So that's the only time I've ever had a problem.
Yes, I have one. My boy is got a guy that's doing some Air Force Ones for me from TTNL Air Force One. I'm a big Air Force Ones, crispy white, but I've never had, painted stuff. So I've been waiting for these. Gil, and this stuff is really popular here on the East Coast. They're sneakerheads. Have you seen that show or that movie on Netflix? And you see a lot of this. Here's the video. Ryan Pace walking up, shaking Baruda. Badass Baruda's hand. That's going to be his nickname. Badass Baruda. Look at Pace opening.
Yeah, I've seen him wear those. I didn't realize you made them.
Look at, he wears these. According to Braggs, he wears these. And he's originally showing them
Nagy
off.
Right there.
Is that Nagy? Like jealous?
With his boring shoes, he didn't get in on the action. What the heck?
Big he wanted nice on a pair of New Balance.
I never got to him, unfortunately.
Well,
so I mean, obviously your bread and butter is sneakers or cleats, but have you ever branched off into, their gloves, or, if somebody gets the game ball of that night or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
Gloves, the thing is I can do gloves, but they rip so easily. It's not worth my time and their money, because at the end of the day, they still got to spend money, But game ball, I never really.
That would be dope. A football.
I've never really thought about game ball.
Badass.
That'd be kind of cool.
Game ball. I love it.
We could try that.
This is what this show is about, man. Creative and no script. I think I want to get a badass Baruda football. I honestly believe that, and put it right here. Fucking an original.
We could do that. That'll be the first.
Yes,
football.
That's what I want. Fuck a cleat. I want a badass Baruda. That's a great point, Greg. Thank you. And listen, I can't thank you enough jumping on the show. I obviously want to promote you. Barlissimo brought it to my attention. I'm all about arts. I got this one woman from Australia who paints these freaking murals that look like pictures. I'm bringing her on the show. We're gonna have a special show. I just am about the art, the passion, and if you include sports and football and your passion like that, it's an amazing stuff. And then tonight to be able to give you a pass to go see your favorite football team and possibly hand over those cleats and see them in his first game. I mean, that would be iconic right there.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. It's dope as hell. And thank you so much. Barlissimo, seriously, just text me. I'll get it over to you. I'll get those tickets to you tonight. Got to be there at like 9:30. We'll be in there. And
yeah, I mean, even regardless of trying to get the cleats, and obviously you have access to them in your own personal way, but tomorrow is a joint practice. So you want to talk about the best kind of practice you can possibly see, Dolphins versus Bears. It might, the best
Greg
fights
is so jealous
are in the joint practices. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
almost gave these to Greg before the show, and he's like, Phil, I can't go.
I'm going to Vegas next week, so I'm trying to make as much money as I can before I go because I'm scared.
Need that. Yeah.
I've never been to Vegas, so I'm going with a bunch of 27-year-olds for a bachelor party, and I'm getting too old for this shit, as Danny Glover once said. So trying to save up my shekels.
Dude, if we had – I don't want to get my man in trouble. I'll wait till Marvin leaves, and then I'll talk about what JJ Carrillo, because it's brilliant. Anyway, love you, Marvin.
Appreciate
Seriously,
you guys. Love you guys too,
let's keep in touch, and I mean that. I don't blow smoke. I met you a long time ago, and I remember it's in audio library somewhere. I'm like, this dude is gonna be something special, and I thought it was gonna be on the programming and websites and designs and everything you were doing back then. Now it's on this level, and it comes full circle. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, congratulations on all your success, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm gonna give you a job that I do all my guests. Okay, can you do a station ID? And all you got to say, hey, this is Marvin Baruta, Badass Baruta, whatever you say. And you're keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. Can you handle that? It took Akeem Hicks like 9 tries. So
yeah, it might take me time, actually.
So all you do is say your name, and then right there, keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. Yo, this is your boy Marvin Baruta. I'm keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. Look, that was that easy. I'll count you down.
You have a script in front of you. I don't.
There's no script.
I know, I'm joking.
You ready? I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, and then you go. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
This is Marvin Baruta. I forgot the second line.
You're keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. There you go.
All right. This is Marvin Baruta, keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Boom. There you go. That's it.
I beat Akeem Hicks on that one.
You did. You beat Akeem Hicks. Not many people.
He's actually very funny too, man. It's crazy.
He's probably the funny. Like,
he's
saw the video, right? Let's go real quick. Then we'll let you go. Real quick, as I say. Where's the drop, Jackal? You got to be on top of these drops. Get out of the baseball, whatever the fuck you're watching back there. You're not. Steven Johnson could wait. Real quick. There you go. Real quick.
That's not nice, man.
Who's the funniest guy on the Chicago Bears? Marvin, obviously. You guys know these guys really well. So, Greg, we'll go around real quick, then we'll let you go. Marvin, is it Akeem Hicks?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Is it Akeem Hicks or who is it?
Akeem Hicks by a mile.
What about when Bezo was on the team? You ever cross paths with Bellamy?
Nah, I wasn't a fan of him.
No. I wasn't a fan of him either. Good answer.
He still owes me money, please. So if you're watching,
there you go. He fucking bounced out of town like Tony the Pod Boss. Fucking a bum.
Yikes.
He's a bum. Hey, Greg, who's the funniest guy on the team, in your opinion?
Oh, man. I mean, These motherfuckers. You gotta watch out for that drop. It's the worst one. It just makes you feel like shit every time they pull that drop.
Marvin never
I
gets
thought it was
that
an
drop.
ad. I'm like, there's an advertisement.
No, they think these motherfuckers think they're so funny around here. But
Yes.
no, yeah, Akeem is definitely up there, as far as guys that make camp loose when you're there. Tariq Cohen's a funny dude.
Tariq Cohen.
Always
I'd say
keeps
them
things
two.
light.
Offensive, Tariq Cohen, defensive, Hicks.
There you go. He's Marvin Baruda. Check out Marvin's journey on Twitter. Follow him at Marvin Baruda. MarvinBaroota. Thank you, Marvin, for coming on Keeping It 100 and being a great sport. I'll get those things to you tonight. You'll be all set to go. And let's stay in contact. We'll have you back on the show.
Definitely.
Let's do it again, man. God bless
Sounds
you.
good. God bless
Appreciate
you guys too.
All right. That was Marvin Baruda as Jackal searches fantasy score, whatever the fuck.
Dude, the Red Sox are up 18 to fucking 1.
Oh,
We haven't put up any goddamn
He was
runs.
watching
Bogarts
baseball.
just hit a home run.
No, we're very economical, my family.
Yeah. That's what
We're very economical, my friend.
That's what he said. And she said, listen, that was awesome. Something different to get you ready. And it could possibly create a windstorm in Chicago like it is, to have Justin get these cleats and wear it the first time he's heading out to Soldier Field this Saturday. We'll be live on Bears Hour Live. We'll have Greg Braggs, Alex Acevedo, Cool Kennedy, Caden, and a bunch of other surprises that day live from Soldier Field. If you're a TTNL head, wear your swag, send us some video. We'll be going live on the patron side at halftime. And then, of course, the best post-game show ever, Bears Hour Live. Looks something like this to get your palate wet. And you keep allowing a team that's less than you in the game, that's a showcase of you not being prepared, not being attacking, not having the aggressiveness and the attitude to say we are better than you and we're going to beat you. And not only did it not happen at home, it happened in a dramatic fashion and showcase of everything we've talked about for weeks. You're up by 10 points. You come out of the halftime and you're in the Arena League again.
What more does 32 have to do? What does he have to do? Phil, I almost thought it was a joke when we were talking at halftime. I'm like, well, at this point, we saw David Montgomery house the 80-yarder. He needed that. He needed it. But we talked about it at halftime. If you're a patron, go back and listen to the halftime show. We said he's going to be removed from the game plan.
People are not going to be motivated by little taps. You have to make them accountable. When you put that much into it, you don't let down. And the guy next to you says, you son of a bitch, you better block. That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Power off. Let's go.
It's Bears Hour Live. Will be live this Saturday. And let me tell you, my father's going to be there. We're all going to be fired up. We're going to be anxiously awaiting how Coach Nagy handles this football team. I got to shout out my boy Ron G, our new producer there, just capturing Bears Hour Live, some of it to get your palate wet for what it's going to be this season. Listen, nothing's fake on this show. I'll call out anybody. You're live, we'll call it out. I call out bullshit. I call out, leave the politics out of it. Olin Kreutz, Steve Edwards, Dante Jones, Lemuel Stinson, all of these former Bears coming on this show to talk the greatest game in the world with the Charter franchise, the greatest football team ever. The reason there is an NFL is because of George Halas and the Chicago Bears. So there is reason to be explosive when it comes to this terrible Gestapo Bears and how they're controlling what the fans are seeing and how you are supposed to be a fan according to them. That has been the discussion tonight, on top of what was a losing season. Even though they want to play the playoffs, you're 8-9. That's a losing season to me. You backed into the playoffs and got in there like that, and you lost that football game. So how you handle this moving forward is a serious situation that I'm excited about seeing this Sunday. How are the politics going to play themselves out? We got our first look at this depth chart. Going to bring my boy Greg Braggs, who didn't mute his mic as he opens his protein bar.
My bad. I thought I was still backstage.
Jesus, Greg, come on.
It's okay. Listen, we started off. I want to go back a little bit into the politics of this football team. These depth charts obviously are early. Tevin Jenkins is the big question. Greg, everybody's talking about the worry about Jenkins. Should they have kept Leno? My simple answer, just ask Barlissimo. No, it's that simple. No, it doesn't save anything. Now you're getting other answers. Is Larry Borum the answer? Is this guy Wilkinson an answer? Is Tevin coming back? We're still in preseason. We haven't played one snap live.
Right.
Today they did. Unfortunately, no one could show shit. Greg is going to give us a little bit of an update, but let me tell you this, if you're just tuning in right now, Greg told you early. Greg has been our guy there. Zach did a tremendous job. Zach Pearson of Bear Report has come on here and given you stuff. I'm going to have Mark Grody coming up to give us some stuff, not tonight, coming up in a couple weeks or whatever, to talk about what's going on and how you cover this team. We're trying to figure out how to cover this team. So we're not getting any answers from the Bears with health. What's up with Jenkins? What's going on with Eddie Goldman? Is Eddie Goldman in the COVID protocol and is going to decide, hey, I don't want to play anymore. I'm decided I don't want to play. So when you look at the depth chart, look who's number one at nose tackle. Yep. That stands out right there.
1,000% it does.
Kyrus Tunga's there. I don't even see Eddie Goldman's name. You think there's not a message being sent there? Of course there. But Matt's not going to answer that. We're going to hide behind things and HEPA law and all the bullshit and politics. I'm telling you right now, we're never going to win until you hate Rex Ryan. People don't like Rex Ryan, Jackal. But at least Rex Ryan was transparent when it came. What is 100%. This? Football. It's football.
And to your point, Phil, with respects to Goldman in the protocols, a player that is unvaccinated who tests positive and are asymptomatic must isolate for 10 days before returning, while any player who tests positive and experiences symptoms must isolate for 10 days after they occur. So if he's not vaccinated, then we're looking at a much longer window. And that could be why the three guys that went on with him got off already 2 days ago. And he's, and he is unfortunately I'm just assuming based on the length of time, but you never want to assume, but that's just something that I was reading about today. And that's part of the reason why he's probably still out on that COVID list.
Listen, Mikel Williams, my boy right here, he's saying Ifedi's not on there. Has anybody known anything about it? The only thing I've heard about Ifedi was Juan Castillo before camp saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler. They re-signed
a hip flexor.
We don't know. Where's Ifedi? Where's Ifedi? This is the Chicago Bears. If you're just tuning in, Greg Braggs told you there was a storm. Thus, it canceled out fans, right? So they used the Chicago Bears, the Gestapo Bears, that's what I'm going to call them, use that opportunity to say, well, since you don't have any fans, I'm going to pull the Larry Mayer rule, and we're not going to allow any of you media, Zach Pearson, everybody else, Mark Grody, all our Adam Hogue, all of them, Weirderer, whatever his name is. You guys can't discuss what's transpiring in the most important type of practice there could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
A practice where you could say, listen, my father, again, was on this weekend, X's with the O's. It was awesome stuff. Berlissimo, who, God, thank God, he's doing so much better. You see him in the chat. The three of us were on there. Greg gave us a bit of tape from FanFest so we could look at a little bit of that. But it really was a discussion with Steve Edwards, former Chicago Bear, who was out there at practice looking at these offensive linemen and who stood out. And then it came to the understanding of how the Chicago Bears handle their media relationship, how they do this. So it's concerning, Greg, because there's no answers being given and you can't show what's transpiring. So I couldn't bring up the fucking 20 plays that Greg had because, Phil, can you please not do that? I don't want to get in trouble. We're like, what world are we living in? What are we living in? I'm not on Twitter, so Jackal and Greg Braggs are going to give us some updates of what transpired today. We obviously heard that Greg said earlier the offensive line got tore up today. But again, who's watching this? This is the problem, guys. I had one fan tell me on Facebook, he's like, well, you know, New England doesn't do all of their practice. They do. And if you're a season ticket holder, they even give you inside the locker room sometimes access to what's being coached. It's like, what are we doing here? Are we catching up with the times? Here we go. We got the kick returner. And there's our rookie. All of us predicted this the other night, last week's show. Khalil Herbert listed as your number one kick returner. I'm excited about Khalil Herbert. Obviously, Eddie Jackson back on the field. He was on NFI, non-football injury. That's what that means. So Eddie's back. Obviously, Eddie has a lot of stuff to live up to. And we're going to see, again, eyes on him. Tariq Cohen is not going to be on this roster to begin the season. Just write that in pen. I've been
eligible back
before.
when? Week 7?
I don't know. They do have some new rules that have come out because of COVID. I don't know if they're going to hide this kind of injuries within it. You know how they manipulate the cap. Sometimes there's ways to manipulate this kind of new, let's go in the last hour and meet and then come up with this new agenda. Like my father made a great point as well. He said, well, there shouldn't be 53 on the roster. There should be 70 on the roster. So you can have a COVID outbreak or something transpire and you're still able to have people knowledgeable about your team. Well, the NFL's way of dealing with that is to have their practice squad extended, right?
Yeah.
So these things, like, here's another thing. I want to get this. I always say I want to talk about this, so I'm going to do it right now real quick. The 53, right? You got 53 guys on your roster, but only 46 can dress on game day. Let's get rid of that rule. Let's get it. That's another thing. That's just mind-boggling. Like, put your guys out there. You got the extended practice squad, so there's no advantage now for any team. It used to be because they didn't have enough, so if another team was really banged up, then the team that had a lot of substitutions would have an advantage. We get it. But since you're prepared and you have this extended practice squad or you extend the roster, then you're allowed to have the 53 guys ready to play on Sunday to get you a competitive. You're always looking for a competitive balance. That's got to happen. I know. I just wanted to
they're protecting the players' health and safety, but restricting the amount of players that can play on game day.
It's the stupidest rule, Logan Frost. You and I both know it.
It's overthinking it.
It's just it's 1968, 1970s rule. That was a different era in football. Yeah. You're really protected now. Obviously, quarterbacks are protected differently. I saw you talking with some wrestler talking about athletes or whatever, but this is a different game, and he was
Stevie
right about
Ray Vaughan, baby.
That was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
The Harlem Heat.
There you go, my
Stevie
boy.
Ray and Booker
Chicago
T, baby.
Clubhouse podcast. Our boys over
shit.
there, JB and T.
Just when he started taking side shots at Jordan. That's when
I knew you were gonna.
I know you ain't the basketball guy, but like timeout, you start going digging in on Jordan. That's where I draw the line, ladies.
Good man, Greg. You stood up for something twice in a week. Holy shit!
I'm gonna stand up for anything. It's Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I don't blame you there. That's my guy.
Save the basketball for somebody. We'll take.
He played baseball too.
All of the stories are going to be obviously surrounding this football team.
Yep.
The depth chart, real quick. Let's go into a more. I'm excited about Khalil Herbert, kick returner. This kid,
as you
Greg,
should be.
You saw him out there. Zach Pearson talked about him when he was on the show last week. I love this kid coming when he was at Kansas, watching that tape with Barlissimo. Then he went to Virginia Tech. This guy is going to be interesting to see how the little bowling ball handles that. But to put him back there, I think that's a good move by Tabor. Who's the punt returner is interesting here. It's
very much. There's a lot of
Demarius Byrd as the punt returner there. Demir Byrd, backed up by Darnell Mooney, the second string. I'm kind of worried about Mooney being there. I got to admit that. Like, I don't want.
He's too much of an asset.
He's too valuable.
He's too valuable. Like, you don't put Eddie Jackson, even though Eddie business decision Jackson.
What do they do in Kansas City? Is that our barometer? Like, it's because, whatever Andy Reid does, does that mean Nagy's going to, street kill return?
Although the guy that I compared Darnell Mooney to just from the eye test is Deshaun Jackson. He moves like him. He looks like him. And I mean, Deshaun Jackson, obviously, I don't think Darnell Mooney has the resume of a punt returner like Deshaun Jackson did coming out of college. But to me, I mean, if he was like that, I would consider it. But, I don't, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he was at the level of a Deshaun Jackson returning punts in college.
They did, if you look back, and I live on the East Coast, so I saw a lot of Giants, Eagles games.
Oh, yeah.
Deshaun Jackson was used as a chess piece situationally. Devin Hester was back there. Everybody knew it. He changed the dynamic. First ballot Hall of Famer, I believe. That we'll get into that another time. But the fact Deshaun would go in there situationally, and they used him right. A big play in the game, put him in. Obviously, you want him as your weapon. Darnell Mooney has not shown me a punt returner. I haven't seen that from him. So to put him there, I'm with you guys. Obviously, I think Daz Newsome is exciting. To put Daz in here. Here's a little play from TTNL. There's our guy, Herbert, hitting it up the middle, taking it to the house.
Oh, there he goes.
I like, football. A lot of people worry about speed, 40 speed, but really good backs have geometry and they know angles. So if you know angles, you're able to use your elusiveness or your fluidity and so you could see that he understood where the bound anyway.
And I got roasted by a few people on Twitter when somebody asked me, who I would compare Khalil Herbert to. Mm-hmm. And, I just from the eye test, and when you watch that video, I can see why I am slightly off base here, but I did compare him to Jordan Howard because they're bulk. That's just looking at him in pads. He looks similar in frame.
Really?
And he's he seems physical. Obviously,
is he wearing number 24, Greg?
That too. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's your bias there.
No, but in general, just the size, but obviously he's much faster. So if you had to I would put it as a faster version of that.
Is this
but it's
Demir Byrd as a kick returner with the Panthers? Is that what that is, Caden? Shake your head. Yes.
Yeah.
This is Demir Byrd as a kick returner. So you're getting some tape here. If you're watching on the podcast, Demir with the Carolina Panthers showing that 4.26 40 speed. Demir Byrd, again, somebody who could take it to the house. It's going to be excited to see how they do that. Damiere Byrd, number 1 on the depth chart, punt returner. I'm excited about Daz Newsome there. Let's go over, obviously, we talked about the offensive line a little bit. I want to go back there. Sam Mustipher, Dieter Eisland, I believe, is the heavyweight fight here going on. You see Chris Tunga, Kyrus Tunga, be your number 1 nose guard. Where Goldman is, Mikel puts a bit of perspective here of Fetty not listed on there. So maybe they're just not on there because of this stuff. Obviously, Christian Jones back from COVID, Eddie Jackson off the NFI. So where these guys are positioned now, obviously, is a message. So as a coach, you put that shit up on the board, fully knowing every one of those guys, am I traveling, or am I a practice squad? Am I cut, or where am I on the depth chart? It's a message. You have the choice now to say, I'm better than that guy, and I got to go out there. So it's a way to motivate your players to do something better. How they handle this stuff is up to them. I know I've heard from a couple players, they're pissed where they are. So it's working. So
There's
that's
some
where you
questions
go.
there. Absolutely.
I want to see, how Mr. Sam Mustipher, my point, getting manhandled. I've had Sean Sierra, who I trust out there. He'll be out there at camp tomorrow. I've had Greg. I've had Steve Edwards on the show saying, Phil, Mustipher getting bullied out there. Your boy Eisland is showing athleticism and strength at the point of attack. Does Juan Castillo have the right to say, hey, this is who I want? I got pause on that.
I had an opportunity to talk to Juan Castillo at practice just a few days ago. Not the last one I was at, but the one right before it. We actually had like a almost 10-minute conversation. He's a really nice guy. And he's just very serious and well-spoken. And and I asked him, because I know how, I don't know shit about offensive line, as Sheree
should
will
have
point
called
out.
me and just
But
put me in your ear. So
I was asking him, about Dieter Eisland, because I know how much
you haven't told me this yet.
I knew how. I was saving it for the show. Exactly. I learned from the best, and because I knew how big of a fan you were of his, so I was curious to hear what his input was on it. And I was like, "How about Dieter Eisland? He seems like maybe a diamond in the rough." And he was like, he works really hard. And the interesting thing, and this is what I thought was interesting, because he didn't say anything defiantly about where he'll play. He did, however, say he thought Larry Borum would start. That's a different conversation as far as what we were talking about. But in regards to Dieter Eisland, he said, what I thought was interesting when I brought him up, he goes, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this year plays out, because Alex Bars, Sam Mustipher, and Dieter Eisland are all free agents at the end of the year. So he was basically trying to tell me that he has a shot to take that job long term, or at least one of these three, and almost to say that none of them are guaranteed it, that one of these guys has to be the one to take it and be the one that gets the extension for years to come. So I think that, there's a part of him that believes that he could be that guy. But yeah, they're riding with Sam Mustipher right now for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I got to keep it 100. These games, Barlissimo, myself, and Shayne and my dad and all of us, the guests that we're going to have on breaking down this offensive line, is going to be must patron TV. And if you're not a patron, watching these guys go at it in practice, I like Sam Mustipher, the person. I like the story of Sam Mustipher. I know Notre Dame bias is real. Trust me. And that stuff I leave out. I don't scout the school. I scout the player. And when I look at these guys, I got to keep it 100. The attitude and the athleticism that I see at the point of attack in Dieter Eisland is sick. Hey, you had Olin Kreutz on this show. I love this man. I want him to run the Chicago Bears. He's my guy. If I had a vote, if I won this Mega Millions and bought the $1 billion Bears, the fucking Gestapo Bears would no longer exist. It would be the football Bears, and Olin Kreutz would be my president. And really, ultimately, I believe in Olin. I believe Olin is doing that, and he believes in Sam. So Sam is going to tell me, like there's no shtick. The tape is going to tell me, look at this. Don't cherry pick. Barlissimo will not cherry pick. There'll be none of that. We're going to just watch it, as Mikel Williams will tell you. There's no gimmicks.
Nope.
Steve Edwards will come on and say, look at this. This is why this guy should be playing. I was doing this with Alex Bars. I was doing this with getting Leno the fuck off the field. I was telling you Coward was a tackle. You can't put him at guard. All these things are easy for me to see, but for some reason, they can't figure this shit out. And I told you that David Montgomery's elite. He is. And he's going to show that it's 100. It's keeping it 100. That's what we do here. I'm going to be excited to break down. And you just got a nugget. Larry Borum should be a starter.
And that was pre-concussion that he said that to me. But he, because I was asking, about Tevin Jenkins, and he was like, he's still on the mend. And he goes, I think Larry Borum might have found himself a starter spot. No, we're really really early into the, training camp to make any proclamations. But when a coach says that to a fan, that speaks volumes.
But you're Greg Braggs, dude.
Yeah, but still, even more of a reason why it's like this is early in the game. But, as Phil pointed out in some of the tape that we showed from the Family Fest, when he was handling Khalil Mack well on a particular block, he's got such a big body, and, it's a numbers game. Sometimes football is about timing and opportunity. It's not always about talent. Obviously talent wins the day, but sometimes it's more about timing and opportunity, and he got his, and unfortunately he had the concussion. Another thing too, Phil, that I know you're going to be excited about is within this discussion I had with him, and the reason I do believe they'll stick with Sam Mustipher to start and let him lose the job if that's what ends up happening is what he said was, we really found something at the end of the year and a lot of last year. And a lot of fans tried to write off what they did at the end of last year because it was against lesser talent. They dumbed down the offense for Mitch. But, if you peel back some of those things and just look at it for what it was, Matt Nagy gave up the playbook and they got to meat and potatoes. And I do believe, it's going to take a lot of willpower for Matt Nagy to resist the urge of throw. But I do believe that they are going to try to stick to the formula they had at the end of last year, which means they're going to feature David Montgomery. And that could mean what Phil is predicting, and that's a guy that's going to jump into that elite status.
Big plays are nice. They're good. We need more of those.
We do need more of those. It's going to be exciting to see how these guys line up. EJ said it. There's nowhere to hide. That's what's the greatest thing about this. The Chicago Bears, let's go back to the whole beginning of this show, Greg. The Chicago Bears with the Braggs rule are hiding. They're hiding. You're just hearing Louis Riddick. You're just hearing what people are reporting. Yep, Justin's got it. Well, the games, there's nowhere to hide. The lights go on. There's nowhere to hide. This is where the stories start. This is what I dreamed of, this network, to be able to show you on tape the truth, the reality of the truth. It's not rocket science. It's football. So at the end of the day, when you're looking at guys miss blocks, falling down, not giving effort to the whistle, not getting on the backer on an inside zone play, having fucking Jimmy Graham just pretend to block, all of this stuff is a reflection of the head coach. That's what it is. So I will, as Steph Freulen is saying, I will expose you. Because I'll tell you what, it wouldn't happen with another coach. Everybody knows that. Even the little fucking troll in the thumbs down before the fucking show even starts. Even he knows.
Steve.
Douche.
Even he knows Steve. Steve's the pod guy.
I'm a downvoter.
Me, Stevie. I don't like people that do fake ring.
Greg Braggs is on. I'm going to downvote it
I
again.
hate Greg Bragg.
Me.
Who does he think he is?
Hey, that guy, he almost saw a nipple there. See?
That's twice we're hit now. YouTube.
It's 2 nipples.
Listen,
too much nudity on this show.
You want Chicago Bears inside analysis? It's X's with the.
Ladies and gentlemen, class is now in session. X's with the O's.
There you go. Every Saturday we'll be there.
Yeah, I snuck into that one. You like that, Jackal?
There you go.
Snuck into X's with the O's last week.
He got in there.
Dude, you're such an opportunist. You know, you don't
Greg
miss a chance, bro. To free
You know me. I'll always take a free handout. So if I get access to the Patreon channel, that was my opportunity. I was in.
Don't worry. Once the preseason's over and they don't need your content, you'll be back to just brags in the stands.
I'll be back though next year.
I love it. Dude, but
I'm just texting Marvin to make sure that I get this over to my guy so he can get this early tonight. I'm going to send his email over to, and I got to shout out my guy. I won't say his name, for giving me these passes to Hallis Hall.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've sent
What a nightmare the last couple of weeks have been, man.
I hope the
last couple of days, I should say. There's no rain in the forecast, but let's not jinx it.
Yeah,
with the humidity around here. But I had 9 tickets was trying to give away on Tuesday. I had 4 tickets to give away yesterday, and both practices got canceled to the fans. So
I
none of
gave
those
away these tickets, and I'm very excited. I will say Ivan Vargas, Sean Sierra, Matt Karstensen will be at Hallis Hall tomorrow, and Greg will not. Damn it! This is
perfectly planned. There's hope, guys.
Now I want to call off work. We talk about the content people want.
Our guy Marvin Baruta. So TTNL is going to have a lot of info. Paying attention. It might be a pop-up show. You never know. It's all about keeping it 100 here. Listen, we didn't even get into all the depth chart.
No.
It's getting late. Do you want to do bear up, bear down?
Could do a couple. You know, there's definitely some to talk about.
Real quick, we did offensive tackle, kick returner.
Let's go to the
running back.
defensive back.
Real quick. Let's do real quick. We'll do offense today.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe we'll pop on tomorrow or something, especially with all these guys going out to joint practice. Let me just real quick once again say this. As a coach, if you're just new into football or you're a millennial and never played, you love the game, this is the best. This is like getting the opportunity to get these pieces that you have questions about and putting them in the position that they least like, and getting another player who's competing for a roster spot in front of your peers to go at it. It's the best situational football practice that you could possibly. It's better than the scrimmage in the preseason game, because you could say, for example, let's just use Tyrone Wheatley Jr. Okay, this kid, as I talked about, he's showing me something on the limited stuff that I've seen. We're going to see a lot more of him, but we're going to use him. I know as Juan Castillo, I say to Coach Nagy, listen, this kid is showing me a lot. He's having trouble with the twist game. So let's go over to the defensive coordinator of the Dolphins and say, listen, what do you guys want for us to show you? This is what we want. We need like 12 twists when 72's in there. I need to see that. Then I want you to bring the nickel. I want him to get these real live looks. So that's what you get. And the coaches do that for one another if you're doing it right. So you put, okay, Herbert, Greg loves him. Next Jordan Howard. I'm his running back coach. Listen, I'm worried about him in blitz pickup. I need a nickel coming off side on the outside that the tackle has to get. And I want you to send the delayed linebacker. I want to see that twice. Can you do that? Yep. But I need you to do this. You say, for sure, we'll run that play 3 times for you. And then they do that. And then you're able to film and look at this and teach, because there's going to be mistakes out there. There's no winning and losing out there.
And I will agree the Herbert Howard comp is probably a bad one, but just as someone that is
back there.
Like a fucking turtle.
Well, I'm just saying, but I do, and maybe Phil can back me up on this because he's a Jordan Howard disciple.
Oh, he is a.
But people I saw in the chat earlier saying he's slow. When Jordan Howard first came to the Bears, he was not slow. I mean, he's not a kick returner by any means like Khalil Herbert could do, and that's where I think the comparison falls short. But he was much faster than I think people realize.
22 miles per hour. Jordan Howard that year, to Greg's point, against the Minnesota Vikings. You remember that big run? He ran 22 miles an hour.
On Halloween, I was there.
Go look back. It was the fastest timed speed that season. Or it could have been this second fastest because someone later beat it, but it was like second fastest. Something that all of the Madden people with their look at fucking David Montgomery's rating on Madden. It's disgusting. Don't get me going down there. But to your point, Greg, when there's time speed and then there is game speed. And that's another thing. I'm not going to throw the millennials under the bus. I'm just saying, if you're new to the game, these things have, they've lived forever. So I want you to understand and get on the same page as we move forward. That's what this is about. Anyway, one last point, Greg, you had, or we're going to move on to Bears.
No, I don't like how Bear Truth 9 doesn't have my back in the chat. He's supposed to always have my back.
Used to that. Chubbs will be there for you.
Chubbs has always got my back.
Chubbs
I can count on him, but Bear Truth 9, wake up, guy. Come on.
I would go on such a rant about Madden and the letdown. Like you can't have a monopoly in football video games. You got to have competition. So when someone creatively, like Marvin Baruta, understood the cleats and doing that, you got to have competition. It only brings out the best. So to have that monopoly in a video game, it's so fucking bad. Think about Matt Miller is fucking making some of these rankings, a guy that I have no respect for. I know Greg likes it. Still go on Greg's show, please. This has nothing to do with Greg. But I will say, Matt, it's bad. So, pre-order the game. It's fine, Caden. Anybody. My son wants Madden. Every fucking Bears fan should want Madden because you're going to have Justin Fields. Everybody's going to be like, okay, substitution, Andy Dalton out, Justin Fields in, and that's going to be the end. But anyway, I hope Madden does better. Do better. Real quick, wide receivers, give me those real quick. I missed 2K5 too.
You'll
Obviously,
be surprised.
Allen Robinson, I don't know if you know this, sat out today.
Hamstring.
He has a hamstring. I don't know if you're concerned with that. Here's the other thing. I forgot to tell you this. I went to text Jackal to remind me because Shayne's not here. I sent it to Shayne.
Oh, what did I fuck up now?
No, it wasn't your fault. I forgot to text you. It's my fault.
Okay,
but last night, I'm watching NFL Network just by chance. Thank you, Greg. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, they're at Bears camp. Andrew Siciliano and the golden child for the NFL Network who gets the All-22. What's his name? He's a great dude. I met him in New York. What's his Baldinger. Brian Balding. They're at camp.
Balding.
They're at Hallis Hall.
His finger sticks out like this. It's crazy.
It's disgusting. They're at Hallis Hall, though, guys. They're sitting in a chair. Andrew Siciliano's ears are wider than my fucking headset. And they're
Good thing I have headphones on.
And they're getting the guys, but there's no show of practice. They're putting this, like, why are you having the NFL Network? And all you kept seeing is the same fucking thing over and over. It's like, what is this world?
Yeah, Alex Smith and Dan Marino were at practice today.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Dan Marino's there.
What do you guys think about that, though? That's pretty stark compare, two different style quarterbacks.
Hey,
what did you think?
Dan Marino is
doesn't hurt to have a legend like that.
He's a fucking.
But who's he there for? You think?
certainly the Dolphins, but I mean, if I'm
He's
Justin
desperate.
Fields, I'm beelining over him to
Exactly.
I'm sure he's interested in Justin Fields too, obviously.
Sure.
And he's Dan Marino. He works at CBS. He has a job to do too. He wants to be in the know. This is a guy that prides himself competitively. So that's awesome that he was there. I think Alex Smith, out of respect, has hung up the cleats. Horrific injury. For him to even go back is unbelievable, that story. But for him to be there, obviously friends with Nagy. Loves Nagy.
You saw Doug Peterson there the other day. Yeah. Now Alex Smith comes in.
Have those other football eyes on it. You never know. There's one nugget that you get, and you're like, wow, how did I miss that? Or I got to apply that to this team. It's like finding a, politics, performance over politics. I just said it. It becomes a t-shirt. Give me a tackle. Give me same thing. You get it. So you never know. Hopefully Matt's paying attention. You're not just doing it there.
He's networking.
Hopefully you're not doing it for the cameras. I hate that. Like Jerry Jones does some things for the cameras. Again, he's not the coach, but still like, oh, I have fucking Christina Aguilera at the concert. Yeah, this was
sorry
with Marvin Baruta to do a B shoe. Give it to Matt. Oh.
No, ladies' shoes for Nagy. Come on.
Holy shit.
Pair of pumps.
That would be hilarious. Anyway.
You're talking about wide receivers, though, Phil. What do you think of Ridley?
What do we have as the listed depth chart? I haven't seen it. So can you give me that, Caden?
Caden, can you bring up the wide receivers?
Just the wide receivers. He's working on that. So obviously Allen Robinson 1. I'm gonna guess Darnell 2.
Yep.
My guy Marquise Goodwin, who I'm so excited about, he's got to be the 3, right?
Yes, sir.
But I think they're gonna play our guy Allen Robinson with the shaky hamstring there at slot, which excites me. Let me get my glass. I'm getting old.
I'm trying.
Here they come. Here they come.
There he is.
Said. Oh yeah, Demir Bird.
Yep.
Greg, you've been really
Chris
talking
Lacey.
This kid, John Vea Johnson.
He's my guy.
I don't know what other is. Other.
Yeah, but he's way down there.
Damn.
I know. Well, that's what I do when I go to Camp Jackal. I root for the most serious underdog possible.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
One year it's Tanner Judge. Well, he's stepping up too, but as Berlissimo pointed out on Twitter earlier today, and I thought this was a really intelligent response was, you're seeing guys like John Vea Johnson and guys that are way down on the depth chart showing out at camp. Well, guess why? Because the Bears have 3 capable quarterbacks. And typically your second and third string guys are bums, but the second string is Justin Fields and the third string is Nick Foles. And while he is certainly not a perfect quarterback, he's won a Super Bowl and won Super Bowl MVP before. So it's going to make some of these guys at the bottom of the roster look better than maybe they necessarily would if they had Tyler Bray throwing to them at the third string
or whatever. Yeah, you're right.
This is going to be – that's a great point. Berlissimo, one of our guys.
It's a good gambling thing too.
Listen. Yeah.
For the preseason, if you're betting gambling, they have 3 good quarterbacks.
Are there a lot of people in the chat that just say yes or no if you're going to bet on gambling?
You bet on the game?
We just have to worry about the first, second, and third string offensive line.
Yeah, true. That's one thing they were saying with the Bears quarterback situation. Check their over/under line. Typically the under comes in the preseason, but
to your point, Phil, about these receivers and looking at this depth chart, they typically keep 7 receivers a year, right? Isn't that going to be the number again? Every year, fans want them to keep 9, but they only keep 7.
Pause right there. If you're listening on the podcast, on every streaming, you will know we're looking at their roster. There is no I formation here, Ivan, as you said.
This isn't your dad's I formation.
Their base formation is 3 wide receivers that are listed. So they're giving you 1 tight end and 3 wides in their depth chart. So you got to put that into perspective because you already know the Matt Nagy scheme. We had to put one asshole on a timeout. And you got to understand the Bears scheme, multiple tight ends. So Jimmy Graham being 2 really could be 1. You get what I'm saying here. So 3 receivers are listed as starters. So really, it's just for a numbers game. Bring that back up. You get 1, 1, 1. So Darnell Mooney's a 1, Allen Robinson's a 1, and Marquise Goodwin's a 1. They're their ones. They're starters.
Yep.
How they list them 1, 2, 3 is for Madden and for fucking fantasy and all that stuff. How they use them is an unknown. So the first group of ones we're going by are Mooney, Robinson, and Goodwin. That's where Goodwin is. He's a 1. He's a starter. Their 2s are Damiere Byrd, Chris Lacey, Riley Ridley is a 2. So we're not going to go, he's 1, 2, 3 because X, Y, Z. We're not doing that. That's not football, guys. That's just fantasy. No offense, Steven and Chris. So Damiere Byrd, if something happens to a receiver, he becomes your starter. 1. You get it? So he's 6th. He's 6th. He's 8th. No. This is another thing, millennials. I want to coach. First team, second team, third team. See how they have it? First string, second string, third string. They're doing it right. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's none of that. So let's go through it. Chris Lacey behind Allen Robinson in the 2s. Here's a kid that keeps showing up. Chris Lacey.
That surprises me because I've seen more flashes from Rodney Adams and Javea Johnson than I have Chris Lacey. And again, learning all these new wide receivers, Lacey, Hardy, Adams, Javea Johnson, is sometimes, especially those first few days of camp, you keep looking down at your depth chart, like, who is this guy? So, now you're starting to get to know these names. And on Saturday, we'll get to see them on full display. But I am certainly surprised to see that Chris Lacey was slated at second string and not Rodney Adams. Because I've actually seen Rodney Adams take first team snaps at practice.
He's a good story too, right? He retired in 2018. He was drafted by the Vikings in 2017, retired, started acting, wanted to get back into the game, and now he's over at Bears camp showing out. It's kind of a cool little story.
Rodney Adams?
That is a great story.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I know he was with the Broncos.
You didn't know that, Greg? What the fuck?
Greg.
I know.
Jesus, you don't know everything?
I only know about Oklahoma quarterbacks. Now,
you know what? We don't need to worry about that over here. We got Justin Fields. So
Rodney Adams was with the Broncos too, right? Because in his Twitter profile picture, that's what
So he's going to be interesting. Rodney Adams is third string. He's on the third team with Justin Hardy, Javon Wims. So Javon is behind Riley Ridley. Take note of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is messages being sent. Remember I talked about, and then the rest. Obviously, I love my guy. Where is he? From Colgate.
Your boy.
My boy. I can't wait to see him. Can you scroll down a little bit so I don't? You got Jester Way, 82, who's surprised. He continues. Javea Johnson is the other. They're calling them. So the others,
never good.
The others, what is this? Lost? We got some others. Daz Newsome is in the others. My boy Thomas Ives out of Colgate.
There's no way they're gonna cut Daz Newsome, right? I mean, they used a draft pick on him. He's making
it's gonna be
this
interesting,
team,
man. Thomas Ives, Daz Newsome, Javea Johnson. These guys, two Barrelissimos, great point. Nick Foles has an opportunity to show these guys real talent. So we'll see if politics over performance over politics, or is it politics over performance for the Gestapo Bears? Yes, barf. That's what I call them. Jesus. You're so soft in these fucking, whatever his name, barf.
Keep talking about millennials.
Millennials upset. I'm talking about millennials. He's saying that I'm using a Nazi. It's actually an Italian thing, the Gestapo. Anyway, listen, we've said it all. We've done it all. Real quick, Bullets had a question. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. If you didn't watch last week, obviously, Caden missed my highlight comment.
Way to go, Caden.
You spent so much time on Greg's and Jackal. You missed the highlight moment when I said Alec Ogletree got me so excited, because I know what this guy brings. He's only 29 years old, And I really believe when you're looking at nickel linebackers with Roquan Smith having somebody that's able to cover. You saw Josh Woods go in there and fucking totally blow the Green Bay game to win to get in. They blew that, right? Josh Woods in coverage, Danny T finding those matchups. Aaron Rodgers is going to kill you on those shallow crosses when you got Danny T covering fucking Adams, for God's sake. How Pagano called that game is a nightmare if you go back and watch that shit. That being said, number 44 obviously is making a name for himself. It needs to be said on this show tonight. 6 interceptions. I don't know if he got one again today, but 6 interceptions in the practices showcase. It's not a joke. This guy's around the football, has great instincts and pass coverage. That's what he did well at Georgia. He's physical. And if you remember the Chicago Bear, Greg, we talked about it last week. Down at the Meadowlands, I was there. Tariq Cohen going wide open. Here comes Ogletree coming out of nowhere, one-handed, intercepts Chase, whatever his name was. Chase, what was his name?
Daniels.
Chase Daniels, or Daniel. There was no S, right?
Yeah,
Chase Daniel. And the rest is history. This guy next to Roquan Smith, situationally, allowing Roquan to bullet blitz, go after the quarterback. This stuff is critical. You saw real quick, if you're just tuning in again, I made the point. There was a reason why Manti Te'o was signed on a midweek and is playing in a fucking playoff game. And he performed pretty damn well if you watch the tape. Much better than Josh Woods. But Josh Woods is still here. Here again, politics. Why isn't Manti Te'o out there competing? Maybe you got something there. This kind of stuff just bothers me. What does this say?
I have no idea.
I came to watch his sister run and spoke to all the coaches and stuff. What is this?
It's Ogletree's.
Oh.
How he ended up in Chicago?
How he ended up in Chicago? And coaches
Yeah,
stuff. Obviously, I
ended
did
up
a couple
being-
workouts here before. And, didn't really think anything of it. Just want to be here for a couple days, then go back to Georgia. Ended up being that my agent called me and asked me where I was at. I said, I'm in Chicago. He's like, don't leave. They want to sign you. So that's kind of how that went. Just right timing. I would say I'm appreciative of the opportunity to come in and still get a chance to play and show them I still.
And what did I say earlier, Sheree?
What did you
Football is about timing and opportunity.
Situation.
It isn't always about talent. Talent rules the day, but sometimes talent slips through the cracks because at the end of the day, what can be more important than that is timing and opportunity, because football players get few moments to earn their keep, and when you get that moment, you got to take it. So there it was, and now he's at camp. 6 picks in 4 days.
Is that Sheree?
You know damn well who gave her the goddamn controls.
Hey.
Listen, you
That was
said
perfect.
something about what, creases or crevices? Is that what you said? Crevices? Speaking of crevices, before we get to our next,
The hard to reach places, Shane.
the hard to reach
This
places.
is where I get blocked by the
Summer is
shade.
here, Greg. You got a dad bod, or do you want that 6-pack kind of? Are you
Keep
that
your shirt on,
6-pack
bro.
kind of girl? Either way, our friends at Manscaped have the fellas' hairy bodies covered. They launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0 trim from the leaders in male grooming. So the man in your life can join the 2 million men worldwide, including me, who join Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping. All you got to do is insert the code KI100. KI100. Talk about the new. The Manscaped 4.0 performance package is here at last. Inside the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, weed whacker, ear, nose, hair trimmer, crop preserver, ball deodorant. Claudio loves it. Crop Reviver Toner, performance boxer briefs that Cars says are unbelievable, and a travel bag, which I used to Punta to hold your man's goodies. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the Lawnmower 4.0. I told you this. It's sleek. It's sexy. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a 7,000 RPM motor. New multi-function on-off switch can engage that travel lock and give you the ability to turn 4,000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for more precise shave. So you can see those hairs. You turn off the light, you get in the shower, it's waterproof, fellas, and you can get that junk shaved down. Come on, ladies. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best trimmer for you and him. So ladies can use it too. You don't even have to tell anybody about it. Want him to be the grooming game and take it to the next level? The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker. Chop those worst weeds in the ears. I'm getting old. I noticed those ears. One day, Steph pulled an ear hair out of my ear. Legitimately. It's embarrassing.
It happens when we get old, man.
Yeah, it does. I'm keeping it 100.
Hey.
Get those nose hairs going. I got to get my dad one of these.
I trim mine.
Those nose hairs. It's got skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, brags, and tugs in those delicate holes. I hate seeing those nasty things up there. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations. Before heading out with your man, he can use the crop preserver. Don't breathe while I'm reading this.
Fucking brags, dude.
It's you.
No, it's not, dude.
Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts, as I said, boxers and the travel bag. Bring your comfort, your boxers to another level. Again, 20% off plus free shipping with the code KI100 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping, KI100 at Manscaped. It's hot girl summer, and we have to get you your man up pair of balls with Manscaped. There you go. Manscaped. Holy shit.
Liquid formulation.
It is hard. That's what she said. To read all of that and get it right. Mark down that time, Christopher Jackal.
2:35.
Our sponsors want to know. I want to know. Inquiry Minds want to know. I want to know. Right?
Golly, what the hell is going on?
What?
On. Are going off. Everything's going off. Where is it? It's time for our last segment before shout-outs. One more segment. It's going to be quick, Jackal.
Hey, let's
cut it down.
Let's go.
That's good.
All right.
Greggy's got some steak.
Greggy's got some steaks.
I got dinner too, Greg.
Where is it? There it is.
You're
It's
on the East Coast too.
Bear up, bear down.
Phil Shayne Marsaw. The Tape Never Lies Network.
A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up. This week, Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw, the smartest man. Bear ups and bear downs of the week.
There you go. Bear up, bear down. If you're new to the show during this season, every week we give our bear up, which is our good performance. It's the opposite, as I tell Cars, of what you say in Chicago. Bear down is positive, right? But on this show, bear up is the positive, bear down is the negative. Chris Jackal, we're putting a different twist on it tonight. Obviously, there's no smartest man around. The only guy we got is Greg Braggs with me tonight, who's done a great job. Thank you for jumping on tonight, Greg.
Of course.
We'll go through this. We're Jackal's going to ask us.
I did it for Cherie. I did it for Cherie.
I know you did. I know you did.
Just throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Speaking of
But with all
Shayne.
that being said, though,
Yes.
we talked about offensive line today, right? We talked about Tevin Jenkins.
Yes.
And we talked about possibly bringing in a replacement if it becomes an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to bear down a couple potential offensive line free agents that are available. And I want to know what your thoughts are. Greg, you can play too. I don't know if you know anybody else outside the Bears, but I figure we throw some names out there.
Just get somebody.
All right. So I'm going to start. Austin.
Sheree, what's up? I just wanted to bring her out there. We got our beautiful girl.
She's watching baseball. She's
respect Chicago, Greg.
Don't pull that up too high, Sheree.
She's got her White Sox
Good
gear
man.
on. If you're listening on the podcast, which, by the way, we're on Amazon Prime, iHeartRadio, Google, the whole thing, iTunes. Go over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. It helps us out. Write a review. Let us know. Also, smash that like button, right, Sheree? What are we fucking doing? We got over 300 people listening.
That shirt says respect Chicagoland area, right?
Definitely does not.
There's Sheree. Sheree, did you want to join us to play this?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to go through. Let's go four deep, and then we're going to get the shout outs and wrap.
I'm going to go right around. I know Chubbs really likes the idea of talking about a player that isn't on the team and wondering if it's a good addition or not, but we're pontificating here, fucked hard. So we're just trying to correspond and see if we can do some communication. It's a fucking show. So why don't you just sit down, shave your balls, and let's go.
Number one fan.
Holy shit. But real quick, there's 4 potential free agents. And if we need a free agent offensive lineman, let's chat about it. There's 4 of them. Austin Reeder, Mitchell Schwartz, Kalichi Osemele, and Russell Okung.
Russell Okung.
So out of those 4, bear down or bear up, I want you to pick one bear up and one bear down.
Okay, so who is going to start us off?
Let's start right below with Sheree.
All right,
We'll go all the way around.
There's a lady in the house.
Okay with Chubbs.
Very good manners, sir. Sheree, which one is the bear up and which one's your bear down out of those names?
I mean, I've been crying for Okung, so that's definitely my bear up. And honestly, you can pick one of the 3 for my bear down.
There you go. Okay, cool.
There you go. Sheree with a bear up for Russell Okung. Greg Braggs.
Yeah, Mitchell Schwartz probably. Russell Okung certainly has the talent resume. Mitchell Schwartz was injured last year, which is why he's still on, the block, so to speak. But, somebody that played with Kansas City has familiarity with what maybe potentially Matt Nagy's trying to do, a veteran that could help teach. Because, these guys that we're talking about are just placeholders, just like Andy Dalton is for Justin Fields, a placeholder for when Tevin Jenkins is ultimately ready to go. So you want somebody that can help not only, hold the position down for a period of time until Tevin's ready, but also teach him how to play the position in this offense. So I think that would be a good fit, and maybe not somebody that would cost too much, considering his injury history.
So your bear up is Mitchell Schwartz.
Yes, sir.
Your bear down, we're going to go everybody. So we'll just ease through that.
No reason, me.
I like Sherry's way.
Although Russell Okung is from the same college as Tevin Jenkins, right?
He's in Oklahoma State.
Yes, he played at Oklahoma State.
Because I think Mike
Good
Gundy.
job, Greg.
Greg, you surprised me right there.
Like that, and Mike Gundy.
Imagine that.
Mike Gundy, I'm a man. Come after me. I'm 40.
Listen,
he said that Tevin was the most talented guy he had since Russell, come through his program.
Listen, a lot of people hate on Greg, but I got to give him some credit.
I love Greg.
He did fucking take off his shirt, gave us a bad look, but then put on Keeping It 100. Supporting the brand.
You can't see
supporting the brand. I got to give you that. Props on that. I'm seriously, I think I want to give credit where credit is due. Jukes for Days. Is there 7? Yeah, Jukes for Days 7. Shout out to you. Rick Wagner just got cut. Now, listen, there's a history Rick Wagner was a guy that Ryan Pace was involved. They were in competition. If you remember, I think he was coming from the Ravens, Jeff Burton or Caden, one of you, Bear Truth Now, you guys will know. The Bears were trying to sign this guy, and he ended up going to the Detroit Lions, I believe, at the time. Then he's going on to the Packers. So this is a guy that's got to be in the conversation. I'm with everybody here. Bring some more competition in here. For me, though, Russell Okung is the guy for me because of the history at the position, the warrior that he is. Again, Phil, he's old or whatever. There might be a spark there. I believe in Tevin Jenkins. I'm not deeply concerned. I will say this. I don't know. I have not heard this. I will get concerned if, he's probably not going to play against the Dolphins. But if it goes into next week and we're still not hearing, then I'm starting to concern. Is this a me thing? Remember I talked about this togetherness. If Tevin on tape, I love Tevin. If Tevin, the person, is deciding, yo, man, I'm going to fucking just take this light and easy, or I'm scared, or whatever it is, then that has to be, it's a concern. I would be lying to you if it wasn't. So if you miss 10, 11, 12, whatever, how many practices, then it starts to concern you as a coach. Do you want this? Do you love the game of football? Do you want to be out there? Like a left tackle, to me, I thought this guy was coming in here and is just going to fucking take over and be the attitude adjustment. Everybody should have thought that. But because he's not out there, it's causing this commotion. And the Bears, Gestapo Bears, fuckface, whatever your name is, the Gestapo Bears aren't giving you any update or details. Like Tevin is dealing with a sore back.
Yeah.
So we are going to be it doesn't take much to clear this up. But again,
well, here's another thing I'd say to Tevin, and I'm not trying to hate on the guy because I like to be positive about players that are on the Bears, especially young ones that are trying to get on the come up. But, when he first was drafted, everybody obviously was really excited. You see the tape, you see his personality shine through in the press conference, talking about his intensity. But, now that he hasn't practiced, and let's see how far this goes. That's why I don't want to overspeak when it comes to this. But, his social media presence, he's on it. He's very funny. But that stuff's going to come back around on you if you don't step up on the field. Bears fans will love you if you fight for them on the field, but you can only do that social media game for so long until you got to actually – it's a put up or shut up kind of thing. And then he was also in my area – out here in the region doing a signing in Griffith, Indiana, like 2 weeks ago, and this is a paid thing, public autograph signing deal. And it's like, hey, I get these guys are trying to make their money, but you're a second round pick. I'm sure you're making plenty of money. How much you get to do a autograph signing, hey, it's your checkbook, your wallet. It's none of my business at the end of the day. But when you're not practicing, but you're out there already doing public signings, you haven't even played yet.
Right.
Where are your priorities?
Let me piggyback real quick. Then we'll move on. Let's just say this. When Tom Thayer, and this is the smartest man telling me this because I didn't hear it. He's like, Phil, when Tom Thayer, of all people, is calling out concern, which he did on Bears All Access, that Tevin isn't involved in the practice, that he's distant, then there's reason for concern. So that's where we are. And that's from the smartest man earlier today, talking to him. And listen, I'm with you because I was here.
Yes.
Let's go, Jenkins.
That's confirmed from Adam Schefter also.
Give me a tackle or give me death. That's where we were. Now I'm saying the same motherfucking thing, to be honest. Give me a tackle or give me death because we got to protect our quarterbacks. And I say that because everyone's focused on Justin. I also want to protect the red rifle, Andy Dalton. So let's go on to the next one. And then one more after that. What do you got?
Let's see. So,
round robin. Now you're going to me and we'll go to Greg and back to Sherry.
So we're going to do a little bear up, bear down for the game against the Dolphins. All right. We're looking at quarterback play. Who is going to play the most? Who is going to play the least? And what are your expectations for all three? Realistically, what's your expectations for two?
There's no bear
So
up.
I just want to know who you think is going to play the most.
Bear
and how
up,
they're going to
give
do.
us a player that you say so we can. Well, anyway, we'll just
Three
answer
quarterbacks,
it.
but realistically,
All right.
who do you think is going to get the shine?
Bear up, I hope. There's hope, as Gary said.
I see a
we
little silhouette.
I saw. There's our guy, Caden Whitlow.
Looks like a duck's eating it.
Producing the Open today.
Duck.
You're going to be
a Daffy Duck hat.
You're going to be.
Looks like he's about to read us an "Are You Afraid of the Dark?"
Leave him alone. All right.
He's in Steven's closet.
I'm going to be upset. We'll go bear up. I'm going to be upset if Justin Fields doesn't get the majority of snaps. I don't give a fuck who's protecting him. Call the plays. Help them protect him. Do full fucking, everybody all in. 7 blocking on fucking 5. Protect your quarterback, but give him reps. That's what I believe you should do. That would be my bear up. My bear down would be Justin not getting the most reps. And any kind of fucking Nick Foles sighting for me in I'll say game 2. This game, I could see you're going to get Nick Foles the fourth quarter. If Nick Foles is in there after halftime, you're going to fucking see a fucking rant that you have never seen before. I'm just letting you know.
A rant no matter what. But
but if Nick Foles, like Chubb says, gets the most, that is a bear down. How about that? Greg, play by my rules. It's a little bit more clear.
He definitely will, depending
Okay.
on if the offensive line has got Justin Fields running for his life in the second quarter, will play into if we see Justin Fields at all in the third quarter. But I certainly would love to see Matt Nagy let him play the second and third quarter because, as Phil would be able to speak on it, the adjustments you make at halftime is a big part of the learning process that he needs to go through as a quarterback if he's ever going to start on this team when the regular season comes along. So have him do it twice in games 1 and 2. I don't expect much from any of the important players, so to speak, in game 3. I think that'll be treated like a traditional game 4. So I'm praying we see him in quarters 2 and 3. But bear up, certainly cannot wait to see Justin Fields. He's lighting it up, maybe lighting it up is strong to say, but with second string guys, like the names we've mentioned, some of these newer name wide receivers. And obviously I'm rooting hard for John Vea Johnson from Gary, Indiana, the region. Thank you very much. Cherie, the Chicagoland area. But I am rooting hard for him because he's had a bunch of big plays with Justin Fields. They certainly seem to have a connection. He had another 2 big plays with him today. Justin Fields, that is, to John Vea Johnson. So that's somebody I'm going to be looking at. But, yeah, Justin Fields obviously is the bear-up quarterback that I cannot wait to see. Let's see if Nagy's smart enough to give him at least 1 series with the starters just to see him, spread his wings a little. If he's slinging it to John Vea Johnson, who will be lucky if he makes a team, just imagine how he could do if he gets a few reps with Darnell Mooney and maybe Allen Robinson if he's healthy, or Cole Kmet. Yes,
where should people park when they're going to Hallis Hall?
Hawthorne Mall is where you start your journey. It's about a mile down the road from Hallis Hall. And then they have these shuttle buses, and there's like 10 of them that rotate, and they go very quickly. They're nice, comfy buses. Yep, okay. Hawthorne Mall.
I told Marvin that's where Sean Sierra, please accept.
Marvin should be allowed to park right at the tickets. Private access. Getting all these dudes hooked up, Ryan Pace included. But
I'm helping him out. Hawthorne Mall. If you're going down, check that out. I know. Sean, please accept.
Man,
the tickets have
if
been
I could have just
to
rode the bus with Matt Carsonson over to Hallis Hall, singing Wheels on the Bus with Matt, would have just been
day.
Matt Carsonson, I know you're
Sing
not
99
watching,
bottles of beer
anything
on the
with
wall.
Greg on. He's probably not watching. Park at the Hawthorne Mall. Marvin Baruta, great human being.
And then
I'm so pulling for that guy. We got to bring him back. Cherie, I got to cut Greg off. Give it to you. Bear up, bear down.
Wait, I didn't do my bear down though.
No one cares, Greg.
Greg, your bear down is any Nick Foles, right? Too much Nick Foles, right? That's
I mean, Nick Foles is throwing some picks against third string, so if he dares throw, it was you. I know it's you now, Cherie. I know it. That's like everybody's got their hands up, but yet it still goes off. Then the silhouette of a man.
Millennial. Look at him smiling down there.
Yeah, kind of, maybe.
Yes, but no. Obviously Nick Foles is a moot point in my opinion at this point. So whatever he does, I don't really care unless you're going to trade him,
right?
But Andy Dalton,
two quarters of Nick Foles on Sunday. That's got to be your bear down. No?
Yeah, I guess so. We'll just
move on to Cherie.
Cherie,
thank you, Phil, for helping him get to the point.
Exactly. He was over.
Phil,
it's weird when Greg talks more than Phil.
But I want to. Move the show along.
That's true. I do want to eat my steak.
Exactly. Claudio, anyone asking, is in Italy still.
He fucked up the Pope's kid's hair and he's stuck
there. The statue of David. He's just staring up at the manscaped tubes.
He's frozen.
Someone pulled
Treated
that
him
up.
like Medusa.
That's Chuck and Lydia Goring. My peeps. What's up,
sir?
Chuck and Lydia? Love them. So many people I love. Cherie, give me your bear up, bear down.
So my bear up would definitely be, I want to see what Foles can. I mean, not Foles. Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy, Blake Bortles.
Lord, the Freudian slips.
I want to see what Fields can do. So definitely he's my bear up, and my bear down would be Dalton get more reps than him, because he definitely Fields needs the reps. So keep him out there at least a quarter and a half, and then you can split it up between the other two. But bear up is seeing what Fields can do. Bear down is if Dalton gets more reps than Fields.
There you go. It's Bryson. What's up? You're a new listener. I love.
That's what I like. What's up, Bryson?
What's up? Will Mookie Hill, friend of ours, he makes a good point, Greg. I do hope Foles gets in and lights it up. This way, someone will trade for him. Is there
That's why people were joking on me when I put his interception up. People were like, take this down.
Hold on. Let's just go quickly to the last one so we can get it through, because it's Nick Foles. I'm going to just make it quick and easy.
Yes.
Are we going to trade this dude? Bear up. We're getting rid of him. Bear down. He's staying on our squad. If you care to elaborate, feel free.
Okay.
But I want to start with Greg's. I want to start right down with Greg's.
Why Greg? It goes down later.
Yeah, I'm switching it. It's my segment.
No, it starts with Cherie.
It's my fucking segment.
It's his segment.
Fucking Greg, go. I just want to get him out of the way.
You're taking charge.
The framework of the question is what?
Foles. Bear up, he's out of here. Bear down, he's staying.
There you go. He's giving you the choice. It's
simple.
Multiple
Dude.
choice.
11:30. Get with the fucking
this is
program.
A tough one. I'm gonna say that Foles by the end of the season will be the backup to Justin Fields, and they're gonna trade Andy Dalton at some point.
Oh, he's throwing his own bear up into the mix. You're going on the record.
Because Andy Dalton will fetch them a solid draft pick when he shows that he's a capable veteran, and some team will have an injury at quarterback that's trying to make the playoffs, and they're not going to go with shit Foles. They're going to want Andy Dalton. And when Justin Fields is ready to be the quarterback one, they'll put Justin in, let Foles be the freaking water carrier, and they'll send Andy Dalton on his way and say, thank you for your service.
This could –
I like that.
This could be – if this happens, I had said to Shayne, I go, if this fucking Greg will never let anybody forget that he was the one who had it.
Never.
I time-stamped it. Don't worry.
Never.
He'll tweet about it. Make a shirt about it.
Listen, that was bold predictions. Cameron Beige, my boy, is right.
I like it, though.
That would have been perfect for that.
I like it, Greg.
Greg's cheating out of the game, but we'll let it slide. Cherie, go to you, then me, and then we're
I'm saying Foles is staying.
Yeah,
I know. We got it.
you, dude.
You said you cheated because
not
we gave you
cheating.
2 options.
Exactly.
It's multiple choice. Where's Barb?
It's from the fucking region. There's rust in the
I
water.
think
or something.
Barb would
I don't
side
know.
with this. I know the region. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead,
my
Sheree.
ass.
I say we're going to trade Foles.
So
Of
she's
course,
going
you know, with
bear
everything
up
that
here.
happened with the Colts, I do think that may be a viable option for them since he has that relationship. So I do think it's possible that we go ahead and trade Foles.
Okay.
Not release them, trade them.
I'm going bear up with Cherie. I believe this is just a matter of this is just semantics now. The Bears are holding him out. The Colts obviously are going to get some reality, a dose of reality, see this situation. I liked Ellinger from Texas. Obviously, that's their starter in the NFL. You remember the 49ers starting the freaking kid from Iowa. What the heck's his name? Beathard.
CJ.
Beathard. Thank you. Look at my boy
Tell you,
from
you're a
Iowa. I'm a
brother.
I was when I was a kid, I rooted for Iowa. That's true. Another story. I think I've told the story, but listen, this CJ Beathard was, overwhelmed with the NFL. Overwhelmed. I believe that's what Ellinger is going to. Sam is going to have to deal with it. They're going to have to do something, the Colts. Although there's that report that came out. I don't know if you
Today they said they may be ready week 1, him and Nelson.
Quentin Nelson. I find that hard to believe. I find that a game again. They might be ready. Oh, let's trade him now then. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lower the – it's a game of poker now. I know from my guy that the Bears are holding on to him and have communications. There you go. One nugget that I could share of trading Nicholas Foles.
Yeah, and somebody
Andy
tell
Dalton.
Eric Alley,
Greg is going to be wrong.
I said this last week, so it's not cheating. You're cheating me.
You plagiarized? Oh, so he stole your tweet?
Yeah, he's saying I stole because I'm not. He's saying I read it from the comments. It's not even true.
Who?
Eric Alley saying I took his idea. I said this last week already. Shane's already.
I will side with.
Already. Aaron didn't say it first.
Big fucking baby.
I'll take my shirt off.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
That is the bear up.
Called the Cobb Quickie. Hands down the easiest way to butter your corn on the cob on a hot summer day.
Yes, it is a hot summer day there, Greg. It's hot here. Let me tell you, I'm sweating in my studio, Chris. We might have to find something.
There's a window for an AC.
Yeah, we need an AC there, but one that's quiet. Do they have a quiet AC, Millennial?
Have Greg's come over there and blow on you, just like, wave a fan on you or something. Just
remember
like,
that drop for next week.
What do you think he's doing it all? How do you think he gets all the fucking Bears games? That dude swallowed more fucking mango than anybody on here.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Oh boy.
Playoffs. Listen,
Oh,
Bears
boy.
Hour Live this Saturday. It's going to be amazing. A lot of fun getting back to the game of football. Our guy, Claudio.
Smoke weed every day.
Claudio will be back. I believe next week he'll make his return with Jackal. How is this going to play itself out? Are we going to have a moderator competition? Sheree?
Have them fight to the death.
Fight to the death?
Whoever charges the cheapest. Never mind.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Keep it 100. That's all. Let's go.
Keep it at 100. Keep it at 100. You're an ass. You are what?
What?
Exactly. What?
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 Those three were for Alex H. I wanted him to see our guy, Angelo. Did anyone say Angelo?
Yes.
Yeah, Angelo is taking a break from TTNL. Next week we'll have an update on Angelo. Will be must-see TV. That's all I could say to you. That being said, everybody, this has been an amazing show. Obviously, if you're just tuning in, the smartest man, Shayne Marsaw, will be back tonight. He took off. A lot of stuff going on with work and everything like that. So given the night off, I'm taking over. It's all about me. And I have the guy that's more about himself than even I am, Greg Braggs, on the show with me. So it was a night full of me's in a team sport. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is going to bring us real quick to Cherie's favorite song. That's the shout out song as we get ready to wrap this up. Get your shout outs ready, boys and girls. I want to get rid of it.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew, gotta show love too. Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew, gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam. Like
the network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this policy, the show is at its end. But for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Shayne getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say to get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew, gotta show love too. Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew, gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real, Spencer strong.
Everything original here at the best network, covering football, the draft, free agency, and the Chicago Bears as we kick off this preseason. We got a lot of stuff that we did tonight, a lot of things. Obviously, I didn't have any time to put our shout-out music in the background. I forgot to tell you guys, so that's my fault. So we're just going to do it raw and real. We're going to start off with our favorite producer, Cherie, Lady Bear, as you're known all over the world, really. You have a lot of fans. I'm your fan. My wife's your fan. You're part of this family here. We don't just talk about it. You know, it's about being about it. So who do you want to shout out, Cherie?
Well, of course, I got to shout out the guy that's not here, the smartest man.
Absolutely.
Big shoes to fill, and Greg did not.
Nope.
But just want to give him a shout out and know that we're here. Ready for him to come back because Greg, we can't do Greg another week.
Oh, come on now, these nipples.
You
really elevate the show.
We can't do that another week.
You got a new
Getting
hairstyle.
OnlyFans.
New hairstyle. I'm feeling it. You got your White Sox gear on.
I'm not feeling
My boy Sean Sear is a big White Sox fan, so you got to be excited about your socks. So I appreciate
Of course
it.
I am, especially after that sweep.
Oh,
Just
talking
had.
smack.
I don't know what you're talking
Lady
about.
Bear is the bomb.
Aw,
Facebook
thanks, Will.
user, go over there. Make sure Chris isn't doing his job. Jackal,
I just saw
reminding
that.
fans, please do this for Shayne. He hates this more than anybody. Go StreamYard.com /Facebook and accept so we could see who What's Up Guys is. We can't see you. So if you're on the show, sometimes you got to go back and do it again. I did the Manscaped read, but I also got to remind you about TTNL swag. Look at Greg Bragg's t-shirt right there. One of many items that you can rock and support this network. It really, truly means a lot to us. Cherie, sorry, little business. I forgot.
Okay.
Any other shout outs?
Yes, I wanted to finish saying, Shayne, we love you. We miss you. Can't wait to have you back. I also want to shout out Cars. He hasn't been here. Shout out to Berlissimo. I mean, everybody been going through stuff. So I want to shout out all you guys that have been dealing with your own things, and just knowing that I've tried to reach out to people individually. I'm keeping y'all in prayer, positive vibes I'm sending. So just shout out to everybody going through something and still pushing through.
Oh my God. I only read through the tea leaves. This is my boy, Lemuel Stinson, the former Bear. What's up, guy? What's up, Lemuel? Gotta have Lemuel back on the show.
Absolutely.
And Lemuel, you gotta watch those DBs. My boy, 22. We didn't get into that part of the depth chart. Maybe
It was
tomorrow,
on the list. It was on the
maybe
list.
we'll be in a live show, but I'll tell you this cheat sheet. I'm whispering. Vildor's number 1 on the depth chart.
Yes, he is. Yes,
You
he
heard that from TTNL. If you're a patron, Justin Fields is the pick. Anyway, my boy Lemuel Stinson, I love that guy. See, he's family. Anyway, Caden Whitlow, the millennial from Iowa. Caden's mom got it going on.
Oh, boy.
According to sources.
Yeah.
Caden, you have any shout outs?
I'll shout out Shayne first. You know, sucks he couldn't be on tonight. Hope he's doing good. Shout out Jackal.
My man.
Jackal.
Yeah, just Jackal.
That's right. My fucking brother. I love it, Caden. And I don't pick on
How
you.
much you paying for that? Jesus.
Not at all. See what happens when you're a genuine nice person, Greg?
I'll shout out Phil, Cherie.
Fuck Greg Braggs. What?
Yeah, pretty much. In the chat.
Motherfucker, you just got here.
What?
Sorry, Greg. Sorry.
Caden's fitting right in.
Like I said, he got that Cars tutorial. Okay, you have now joined the Tape Never Lies Network. This is how you fuck with Bragg. Step 1.
Yeah, he sent it over a few weeks ago.
There is a memo there. There is a memo. I
See what happens when you're part of the TTNL family, guys. You know.
Let's see it.
There you go. You shouted out everybody on the panel here. Is there
Except for
anybody else
Greg.
you wanted to shout out besides Greg? Is there anybody else?
I think that's good.
All right.
Thanks everyone in the chat.
God
Good
bless
show.
the chat. The 100 crew has been on fire tonight. Greg Braggs Jr. stepping in for the smartest man tonight. Really bringing your flavor and your honesty. I know you get a lot of shit. Most of it's deserving.
I can take it.
Yes, you can.
You got thick skin. You definitely
a lot
do.
of people. I've said it before, and people are like, "Stop fucking kissing." And Shayne
gonna
gets
cry
all
in the
upset
car.
with me because I get nervous. I'm like, "All right, enough's enough breaking on Greg. Fucking guy's doing his thing. He's got to self-promote. That's part of the business, and that's what I want to see you do. He's obviously got his own brand, but he's a part of this family." Even if he fucking sells out and goes on.
Ryan Pace knows his name, Phil. Ryan, he told us tonight. Ryan Pace knows his name.
He does. He knows his
I'm
name.
gonna tell
my
him
name.
that Chris Jackal's an asshole the next time I talk to him.
Totally fine. You know what? I probably tweeted that out to him at one point. So, you know, we're in good space here.
Three, you got mad
love you,
love
Greg.
from Michael Kinder in Japan. All right, Greg, do you have a shout out?
Yeah, of course I got to shout out the man that I'm sitting in the seat for, Shayne, the money man, Marsaw, the smartest man.
Man.
You know, obviously, as Jackal so eloquently pointed out, big shoes to fill, and I would never even dare attempt to try to fill him completely because he is the yin to Phil's yang, and those two are a dynamo when it comes to podcasting, entertainment, and just straight true brotherhood. These two are thick as thieves, and I will never be able to compare to what Shayne and Phil are, you know, not just, you know, on a show, but just in general. I mean, we have a lot of conversations in private, and these two together are as good as it gets. And I am just honored to be friends with both of them. It's been a lot of fun these last few years. getting to know these guys. And so, yeah, it was fun to sit in for him and be the reliever for a night. I hope I stood up for the people in the chat because I know you guys have high expectations for this show. I brought you as best as I could. But I also want to shout out Alex Acevedo, another member of the Tape Never Lies Network family. He's going to be with me on Saturday for the big game. Justin Fields' first time ever coming out the tunnel in a Chicago Bears uniform, and me and Alex Acevedo will be here to witness it all and document it all. So you guys will have some good content for next week. I have no doubts there. So we're going to have some fun. Make sure you keep on the lookout for all that stuff. And just shout out to everybody here at the Tape Never Lies Network. Appreciate you guys always having me here. Obviously I'm always one phone call away and always here to support what you guys are trying to do. And I appreciate all the support coming back my way, even if it involves a little shit coming from the gang. I can take it. I love you guys.
Good sport, Greg.
And didn't wear a deep V-neck today. You wore a shirt that actually, we're twins today.
Look at twinning. You're winning and twinning. He's only one call away.
That's right.
It's another Greg.
Greg, I'll get you some sock stuff so we can be twins.
That's okay. I will pass.
That Southside shit is
Thank
awful.
you, Greg. Greg, seriously.
Watch
Great
it.
job tonight. I always have fun with this guy. I mean, every time I talk to him, whether he's ordering Taco Bell, it's cheesy, gordita crunch, or ordering Jenny to take care of the kid or change a diaper.
That's right.
You are a friend.
I
appreciate you
And
jumping
if I
on.
had to, he may not be watching because he's probably fast asleep in a hospital bed right now. But my good friend Kyle Lilly, he's one of my best friends in the world. He's going to have brain surgery tomorrow. So that's very serious stuff. And, I know he's going to come out of it good and everything in that regard. But, until then, he's in my thoughts right now. And he's in a hospital bed getting ready to have to go under the knife tomorrow. So that has to be my final shout out is to my good friend Kyle. And I want you to heal up quick so we can get back to bullshitting and throwing bags, my good friend.
There you go.
Beautiful. Greg, again, thank you. Jumping on, having a lot of fun. You really did a great job here tonight. Christopher Jackal, your shout outs, brother.
I'm going to keep it quick and easy. I'm going to, in Shayne not being here today, it's going to be I'm shouting out Shayne, thinking about everybody else. I've said this before, guys, during shout outs, spread positivity and love. If you haven't talked to somebody, reach out to them. If you never know what someone's going through, that's what good people do, so brags, hopefully you can start doing that tomorrow. But in reality,
I'll reach out to
you. Send love to your boy, Kyle. I hope everything goes well tomorrow.
For sure.
And we're a family here and that's extremely important. And so shout out to everybody. And I just hope everybody can get through the weekend.
And like Cherie said, to bounce off of that, Barlissimo getting on the mend. I know Cars has been going through some stuff personally as well. Yeah. These guys, this is what it's all about. We all have, trials and tribulations we got to grind through. That's part of life. But that's what friendship, brotherhood, and unity is all about. When they say it takes a village, that's what that embodies, is everybody coming together to get through life. It's not, sometimes it's fun. You go to the Bears games and sometimes you got to deal with the bullshit. So, that's a part of it. But when you do it together, it makes it that much easier.
Pick your boy up.
Yeah. You always got to pick your boy up. I'm trying to find.
Or girl. Sorry, Cherie.
Strong stuff. And I can't find it. There it is. Jeez. Doing all your jobs tonight.
Dude, we're all in deep thought right now, Phil. Come on,
I know.
buddy.
You're in deep thought. Really well said, Greg, even though you already did your shout out.
Yeah.
Jump back in.
Double shout out.
Nice work, though, Greg.
Like and subscribe.
Well said,
hit the bell. I don't do this or say this enough.
I'll pick that booger, Greg.
Did I? I don't even know. I might have just had an itch.
I had one. I was
Oh,
breaking his chops the other. I won't say anything. Anyway, listen, like and subscribe. Let other people's know. Like our guy says, be a friend, tell a friend. That's Christopher Jackal. Also, get over there to the swag shop. Performance over politics. Greg's shirt, Keeping It 100. Support the brand. We really appreciate it. If you're going to the game on Saturday, rock some TTNL swag, shoot a video, give us your thoughts. I promise you, I think you should pay attention to that bell. There might be a surprise pop-up show or something. Again, I want to end this show and thank you, Greg, Chris Jackal, Cherie for producing and then jumping on. We always just throw Cherie right on stage.
Whether she's ready or not.
Her mom must love that. Love that about us. I want to shout out your mom. Tell her I was asking for her.
I definitely will. She'll be wearing her draft Dr. Phil shirt. So.
Oh shit.
Oh, all right.
There you go, Greg.
Is it like one of those oversized shirts like you wear to sleep, or is it like just like something you wear like a walking around shirt?
Her to oversized one for her to sleep in.
Just trying to paint an imagery for Shane when he listens to this later.
There you go.
Aiden's mom probably is rocking one.
Yeah, we all got those pictures, so don't worry.
Bear Truth 9, you don't get a shout out. You turned on me like Cherie.
See Caden's mom, for God's sake.
Greg, I was never on your side.
It's a surprise.
Turned on you.
Why? You've been infected. Your mind.
All right, Greg. I don't want.
Someone turn Greg's mic off.
Yes, I don't want to mute him. I want this to be a positive show.
Shout out, Jones.
I want to shout out everybody.
Greg. Shout out, Jones.
Yes, I want to shout out, Marvin Baruda for coming on, really experiencing what he does, how he came about it, and doing everything for this network. That moment for me was worth it. Him saying, listen, I get asked to do a lot of podcasts. I wanted to do this one. It meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And then to be able to give him the ticket. And again, we were going to do a game, but that really worked out. So I want to shout him out. And again, everybody here talking about our guy, the smartest man, shout him out, not being on the show, tonight, and being a part of him, missing him. Greg can never fill his shoes. You're 100%
fill one of them.
Shayne's a big guy. Greg has no idea how
What shoe does Shayne wear?
I think
Is
it's
he
like
6'6"?
14. He's almost
3?
6'5".
It's crazy.
He's
You got
6'4",
Shayne, and then in cars.
Cars
Shayne
is
pointed
So
out
you
to
and
me,
so wait, you and
6'4".
Shayne are like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger and
you haven't
twins.
seen the pictures of us?
Yeah.
I've never seen you two standing next to each other.
Standing next to
Everything's
each other.
edited.
Our guy Chris Sandlin took a picture of our first meeting. Maybe we'll have to put that up.
I think I've actually
You
seen
could
that
see
photo.
him. He's way over me.
I did not. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a what?
Yeah.
I'm 5'7". He's 6'4".
Fit that giant heart of his in that body.
I can't do the math. So shout out to Shayne. He'll be back. My wife, all the people in the chat. I had so much I wanted to get into, but really, again, pay attention to the bell. Set the bell. Probably pop up. I got all of these guys going out to camp tomorrow. Sean Sierra, Ivan Vargas, Matt Carstensen, and obviously Marvin Baruda going over there to check out. Hopefully, as Greg said, Greg also is a weatherman. And it looks like there's clear skies tomorrow at Hallis Hall. They won't pull the Gestapo.
It's going to be warm.
Pull the Gestapo. I want to shout out Frontier Cable and Internet, who came out here, and now there'll never be an issue with my internet again. 1,000 up and 1,000 down. Yes.
Holy shit, dude.
You're jealous of me? You should be.
That's what I got.
I petitioned.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am in a new
Eat
world.
that, Phil. That's what Caden just said. His hot mom says, I get better internet than you. Because he ain't paying for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I won't.
I can't say enough about that. I wanted to shout them out. They came out here and fucking knocked it out. I'm dealing with Cox. I'm trying to get some refunds and doing that stuff. Those of you in the chat, I want to shout out my father, my daughter. We're celebrating her high school graduation this Sunday. So I thought we were going to do X's with the O's on Sunday, but pay attention. We'll probably do that Monday afternoon. X's with the O's, because there's just no way I could do planning this graduation party that I forgot about. That's how crazy I am about the Bears. But BHL will be live this Saturday. shouting out all of you. I saw Funkster Jones. We've been worried about you, Funkster. I know he got suspended from Facebook, but he is on Instagram now. Go over and follow Funkster, who is a huge supporter of us. HL Priest. Got to shout you out. I like guys that take our show and make their own promo for it.
Yep.
And
he's awesome.
It's always coming from me. So people probably on my timeline that don't like the Bear, like, fuck, this guy's always with the Bear. But I like when you guys do that. So you want to make me happy, and you want to get a big shout out, you get that. There's so many other people. My guy, Sammy the Bull, Mikkel Williams is in there. Shout you out. Cameron Beige, love this guy. Richard Gordon, is he there? Yes, he is. He's shouting out my wife. And sure enough, there you go. I can go on for hours because there's so many positive people out there. Chubbs, you deserve a shout out for being Greg's #1 fan. Jeff Burton, I know your boy Cars. Maybe he'll make an appearance tomorrow. Maybe. So we're going to get some of you fans. Obviously, on Bears Hour Live, we always bring 1 or 2 fans on with your reaction. So pay attention. And I didn't do a good enough job shouting out Josh E. for what, sitting in for me with the raffle, and the TTNL family just did a great job. So shout you out, Josh E. Bullets. Who am I forgetting? Today has been a crazy day. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of anxiety in the Toshin house, and just really dealing with so much as a family. And I'll say this one last thing to you fucking haters and
fuck them.
I speak to them because we are going to have a troll show.
Steve.
I want to be
fucking ass
completely honest with you. Nothing is planned. Nothing is scripted. All is honest and emotional. That is the sauce. That's the foundation. We've learned. We all make mistakes. We do. And we learn from them. And there's no way around it. If I thought Greg was coming on here planned, that's not him. We could joke around. This guy has thick skin. I got to thank one other person. Sorry. 2 last things, and then we're wrapping it up. I promise. Steph Froyland. Yes. Tom Boson. Tom, right there. Family is always #1, right? Tom Boson gave 6 tickets to the Chicago Bears versus Miami Dolphins game on Saturday. To me. However you want to do it. And I gave those 6 tickets to Caden Whitlow and his dad, not his hot mom.
She's busy.
Don't get confused.
That's why they're going to the game.
Damn it. I can't wait to tell the story of this. It's next week or tomorrow or Friday. Just pay attention. I'll tell the Caden hot mom story. And Cool Kennedy and his wife, like I said at the top, it's her birthday on Saturday. They'll be at the game experiencing Justin Fields' first time on Soldier Field in a real live atmosphere, not fan fest. He's going against the opponent. And our guy, Ron G. And Ron G is our new producer here who has produced some of these great, the X's with the O's thing and the BHL thing that I'm going to end the show with, the promo to get you ready for Saturday. So I want to thank all of you. Tom, thank you for giving me those tickets. And Ron, Cool Kennedy, and Caden, you 3 have really stepped up and helped me in the production of this show. I saw Logan Frost say, wow, that's really good. Oh, it's a really good production, really good producing. Well, that was Ron G. And that being said, we'll see you all next week on this show. Keep it at 100. Pay attention. Hit the like button. Share the show like HL Priest.
Share it. Come on.
Jones. Let people know this is the place. As Greg, as Tom Boson said, family first. This is a family. I will call you out. I will call you out if you're hating or taking shots that are unnecessary or you have a shitty opinion. But that's what family does. So God bless you. Always. One last thing. Keeping it 100. I came up with this thing off the top of my head. I told Chris Jackal I was on the treadmill, keeping it 100 push-ups to fuck cancer. I'm doing it every day. I did 50 push-ups. I got 3 minutes to do 25 more. So I'm going to do them. It's going to count even if I get after midnight because we're on this show. And I'll do 100 again tomorrow, but 100 a day for 30 days or more. Fuck cancer, keeping it 100 push-ups challenge. I just started this. If you want to do it, just jump on my Facebook page. I'm in and start doing it. Just you don't have to film yourself and none of that bullshit. This isn't to get likes. It's to really stand together in positivity and help build your side. I feel like I could fucking play right now after 4 days, Sheree. Feel jacked up. So it really does. And I just did a Google search, like 30 days, 100 push-ups. You do that, check it out. Some people have transformed their fucking bodies like you can't believe. So listen, I just came up with this, keeping it 100 push-ups, fuck cancer, BHL Saturday, keeping it 100 next week. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell. We could be going live. I want to hear what Matt Carstensen saw at camp because he actually knows about football. Maybe doesn't know Juan Castillo or Ryan Pace like Greg, but he knows where we're going to be.
Greg? But he does know Greg.
He does.
He knows Ryan Pace and Juan Castillo. So,
Bears Hour Live this Saturday. It's going to look a lot like this. And you keep allowing a team that's less than you in the game, that's a showcase of you not being prepared, not being attacking, not having the aggressiveness and the attitude to say we are better than you and we are going to beat you. And not only did it not happen at home, it happened in a dramatic fashion and showcase of everything we've talked about for weeks. You're up by 10 points. You come out of the halftime and you're in the Arena League again.
What more does 32 have to do? What does he have to do? Phil, I almost thought it was a joke when we were talking at halftime. I'm like, well, at this point, we saw David Montgomery house the 80-yarder. He needed that. He needed it. But we talked about it at halftime. If you're a patron, go back and listen to the halftime show. We said he's going to be removed from the game plan.
People are not going to be motivated by little taps. You have to make them accountable. When you put that much into it, you don't let down. And the guy next to you says, you son of a bitch, you better block. That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Power off. Let's go.
This has been a Shy City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keeping it 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.